Hello and welcome to another one podcast.
We have a Patreon. It's one of the best Patreons in the game.
By best, it's more of us.
Hundreds of hours of content. There's specials on there.
Three
specials. 2 live shows. It's one of the best Patreons around. You won't regret it. Sign up. £3 a month. That's all it fucking is.
I can't promise you it's one of the best or the most valuable, but if you enjoy us,
I think it is.
it's the only way to guarantee this carries on.
Yeah, that's yeah.
So,
Genuinely.
It's up to you. Would you like this podcast to carry on? If the answer to that question is yes, then why not part with 75p a week by signing up to our Patreon?
Patreon.com/another one podcast. Sign up to it. You don't even have to enjoy the content that's on there.
You don't even have to watch it.
No.
Just
sign up.
75p a week,
Yeah.
so that you get your public episode every week, guaranteed. Because if it drops below a certain level, it will stop.
75p a week.
The minute this costs us money again, it's gone.
Yeah, and it's
Barely even.
so. Please,
For the love of God.
yeah, please. Now it's beyond a joke. Now there's only one podcast that needs the money, and that's ours. We're absolutely brassic, and we've got the most outgoings, like dependents.
Another one.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to another one podcast. Me, Simon Wozniak, co-host Rob Thomas, and joining us today is
Fat cunt.
is
I'm
it,
glad-
is it a debutante or not?
No, second.
Second. I thought it was second one.
Fucking
is
boring opening. Hi, I'm happy
Britain's
to be
Got
here.
Talent. Hang on.
Failure.
Britain's Got Talent star. Peter Kay's favourite comedian,
Yep.
Kevin Finn.
God almighty.
How's that intro?
What a dream
The
to be on
UK's
here.
most
What,
beloved comedian's favourite comedian.
were you falling asleep as you were saying that intro?
A little bit.
What was
yeah.
that? Oh, well, hi. Welcome to another. Like, you're so sad to
Yeah,
be
but
here.
I'm also always concerned about the sound, so I've always got to keep an eye on that. Go on, speak for me, please.
Wow, look at this.
That's all right. That's good. That's
fine,
good. That's
Look,
fine.
look what's happened. I peeked.
What's up?
I'm winded right now. I ate McDonald's for breakfast. I did. I know. Remember when we... Have you told him? We were
Oh,
like,
yeah,
Yeah,
oh,
you're going to start a podcast together? Yeah,
No,
yeah.
we had
This is your
February-
interview.
I know.
This is your interview, Kev.
We were supposed to be down 3 stone by the end of this month.
I am.
Really?
No.
Where'd that go?
Someone said the other day, I look like last week, then I was like, you stop it.
Can I ask who's heavier out the two of you or not?
I don't know, actually, we never asked
Yeah,
that, we?
disclose
I
weights,
know how
anyone?
much I weigh.
I don't.
Oh, you're frightened. Do you have to get a medical
don't
scale?
need to.
Because you
Why-
can't. You can't.
He's
you can't
outgrown
go-
the Salter.
Yeah, you can't go to Tesco. You can't go to
Salter.
Tesco. Get a regular scale. Do you have to go
No,
above?
no. I've always been all right with them. What do they go up to? You'd know.
30, I reckon. to say, so.
350 pounds. I don't know what that is in stone because we do pounds in Canada.
Garden furniture's
Like-
got to be tricky, hasn't it? Sometimes you got to see
Oh,
the weight limit on
Well,
that.
this when I saw
Yeah,
this
yeah.
chair, I was like, I don't know if this is gonna be good.
Yeah, man.
You guys got nice solid chairs. This is just rough.
Yeah.
What
These are privileges, aren't they? Sitting privileges.
Yeah.
what happened here? Are you guys okay?
What's wrong with
what I
this?
Well,
wanted-
hang on.
I think this is better than where we were.
No, but on the camera, fantastic, looks great.
Yeah.
Then I came here,
Yeah.
Magic
walked
of
up
showbiz.
metal steps, which
Yeah.
that felt safe. That's the first time I've ever felt safe going upstairs. Looks a little
Reinforced.
scary outside. In here, this looks like this could be an ISIS.
GTA.
Yeah.
Yeah, hostage situation. We joked about that in the old studio. Remember when we sat there on that sofa, staring into the camera when you're doing Patreons, thinking this feels like...
Well, at
Like
least that place was like that was like you had a couch to sit on.
Yeah, but there's a certain
Right.
charm to when things are a little
Yeah,
bit
but you get
more-
too comfortable on the couch, then you start slouching.
I'm just
And
I'm
you worry about looking fat then. When you sit on the couch, that's when you look
Yeah,
fat.
you've
You're
got
like,
the tape. This
Oh,
is...
that's it's the couch
yeah.
is the issue. The
Well,
couch is the problem.
I don't know if you watch Green Room, but since
couch to
since
4K.
since they've switched from chairs to couches, Tony looks big. That's all I'm saying. I feel like messing with going, mate. That couch is doing you no favors.
So is that their permanent move, is it?
No, they're gonna
Right,
get
yeah,
a studio
Tony
eventually,
and
but,
that couch, yeah.
but that couch isn't doing Tony any favors whatsoever.
What happened? What happened? Weren't they in the? Oh, because they moved venues, right? But weren't they? I saw that they had like a nice.
Because the,
Permanent setup,
the
though.
theatres are always booked out now,
Oh.
so they've got to move to the one that isn't booked out, which is the suite.
Sorry, I came in sassy because you haven't thanked me for being here, for driving all the way out here, for paying for parking to be on this podcast.
Oh my god!
I want to check.
Who are you?
Before we started,
I've given up.
you were saying Canadians don't parallel reverse park.
Yeah, not a thing. Okay, let's place how funny he is.
Yeah,
I came in here.
Go on.
Yeah,
Explain.
yeah.
Let's get to my
Came
bit.
in here
my
and
genius.
he has an erection already. Excited.
I've got no
about it.
underpants on.
Are you actually going free balling?
Yeah,
right now?
come on. Do they do it in Canada?
God,
Too cold.
he does a bit, and it made me laugh really hard. It's about like planning forward, like you don't even reverse park. I don't know what it is, but it was something like that.
Yeah.
Made me giggle.
Same reverse parkers have savings. That's what he said.
Yeah. It was a very funny bit. I know anytime I go anywhere, and that's where you can tell it's a good bit when you always think about it in different things, or if you hear a certain song, you think about whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, reverse parking, nobody in Canada does it here or there. Because the parking spots are 2 times the size they are here as well. And when you reverse in Canada, like the lanes that you can go out and like they're twice as big as well.
And you use like America, do you just build everything new all the time?
Yeah. So there's nothing. There's one in Toronto where I lived. There was a heritage point, and the building was 100 years old, which is like that's like every building here.
Just say this is something like America thinks 100 years is old, and UK thinks 200 miles is far.
That's good.
That's just something I heard. It's not mine.
That's really funny, bro.
It's not funny. I'm just
Take it, clip it, stick
There
it
you
up.
go. There's something there. But yeah, anytime I reverse park, I think of you. And but I hate the reverse parking because
You started doing it.
I can't. Oh, I'm like a woman driver.
Do you have a camera in your car?
No, I bought a dash cam for the back as well 2 years ago. I haven't put it in yet.
Yeah, but a camera like a reverse camera. You don't have a reverse camera now.
I'm not gay.
there's a beef.
Does it? It does.
You got
But
sensors.
It beeps like it's two. Like like so. I'd
Yeah.
be at least 3 feet away and it starts beeping, and I'm.
That's good though. It's
panicking
better that than the other way. If the sensor goes off and it's too
right away.
Yeah, there you go.
No, but yeah, I don't reverse park. So
Well, maybe you should
guess-
start doing it. Save yourself a little bit of energy on the way out.
I guess we wrap up the podcast.
There you
then.
go, Kev.
That's a good ending.
When
to
you
it.
when you go back to Canada, no point
I
you being
said-
here now, is there?
I know.
Hang on, we'll get to that. Yeah, soft
let it
launch. We're
simmer.
soft launching
Let it
this.
simmer here.
We've
Whoa.
got an exclusive here.
Retired. I've been in the game years now. No, I actually said when we moved here with my wife, because I'm not gay. When I moved here,
You and your beard.
yeah. So she's my wife.
The lady doth protest too much.
I love you, baby.
Why you're quitting? Because it's all coming out.
It's all bubbling.
Yeah,
Too much.
he's been in
Just been
public
caught.
toilets.
Yeah.
There's going to be a clip released of him sucking a load of men. Yeah.
No, I said, but when we moved here, I said I don't want to go back.
Blue. I don't know. I couldn't think of anything better than
Bonnie
that.
Blue, Kevin Blue. Yeah.
It was shite. Sorry.
She does have pretty eyes, though. We got to give her that.
She's
She's
gorgeous.
definitely older than she says she is.
What is it? It's
She's not 25. She looks so.
Did she say
Come
25,
on.
is she?
She's about 34.
Yeah, I was thinking closer to 40.
I don't think she was, yeah. Oh.
Lily Phillips is 20. Is what she says.
How
she
many
is.
people do you know here?
Well, Lily and Bonnie are the nation's sweethearts.
Oh,
aren't
they're
they?
messy, aren't they?
All right. Is that Bonnie? I
like
only.
Camilla.
She's the one that got like 1,000 men, right?
Bonnie's the one who broke the record, yeah. It was Lily. Lily said she was going to do it, and then Bonnie just took
And
on
they've
the
both
slide.
announced fake pregnancies.
Both announced fake
Brilliant.
pregnancies.
Do you think you guys could perform in front of 1,000 men?
I had 12,000 last Saturday, mate.
Oh, you're such a cunt. No fucking
He can top you. He can top
no,
you.
yeah.
Come on, Kev, pull that one out. 18,
Yeah,
boom.
it was 8. Yeah, it was. Yeah. I couldn't perform in front of 1,000 men. Anyways, going back to Canada, I said I wasn't going to go for at least a year because I hear a lot of people when they move over to different places, if you go back too soon, you hear so many people that go back and just stay because they miss the home, all of that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So I said to my wife, I said, I want to wait at least a year, even 2, because it's only in the past few months that I've been having a lot of homesickness. I don't think I would go and stay because it's just there's so much like opportunity to perform here, even though
Right.
I'm fucking packing in the one for now. Let's just fucking get to it. I don't
We're
do
gonna
stand
get
up.
to it.
Yeah.
Did you ever?
No,
No,
I'm
joke,
not
joke.
fucking doing sketches on stage and passing it off as stand up.
Don't let him put an improv thing up on his stories today, Kev. Fuck him.
Oh, that was people said it was the best part of the night. So eat ass.
No way.
1,000%.
No way.
1,000%.
On a
Fucking
night-
the red tops over here report
On
differently.
a night I was on. To be silly.
He tries to control the narrative, mate. You need to get.
Oh yeah, right.
Thank goodness, Kev.
I wish I had.
He stunk it out, did he?
I wish I had a sliver of the confidence you have.
Couldn't follow the improv.
No, not at all. We had them fucking. But then, did you tell what was in it though? We were doing a game.
Oh no, I
all
didn't
over
tell.
the place.
Did I tell her?
We were doing an improv game. I know everybody, when you say improv in this country, you guys fucking roll your eyes. And rightfully so, because most of the improv in this country is a woman who works full-time at Tesco and wants to go out at night and go, I want to, get out the house and do something with my friends. That's
Cabaret. We just see it as cabaret.
Yeah, I've never sneered at it.
Everyone,
I've just never had an opinion. I've never really seen it, to be honest.
Exactly, yeah, because it's so beneath you. You don't think of it.
I'm bringing this back. This is what I'm so excited to let you guys know what my actual new plan is, because fuck you and fuck everybody. Even actually in Hot Water, when I did the improv, I went, "Hi guys," and I got the audio back. I went, "Hi guys, so we're gonna do a bit of improv here," and I heard in the audio someone went, "Improv's fucking shite."
Probably me.
Probably
was me.
And by the end of it, that person was whistle laughing. The whole loved it. So fuck you, bringing it back. But
two grown men playing pretend.
It's great. Look at
What's wrong with that though? If it's working,
he's threatened because you're so threatened. Look at you. You just wish you have to play this guy who I don't give a fuck on stage, but you're just a little soft shite.
But ours is painfully rehearsed to the beats.
Yeah,
almost.
Yeah.
That is another reason why for stand-up. Okay, so basically, for those who don't know, and nobody gives a shit, I've decided.
He's taking over this.
By the way, also, I saw you storm a gig that we did together in Stockport. Do you remember that one? The corner of the cafe.
What?
Do you remember in that cafe?
Or was it in Chester?
No, it was in Stockport. There was small, only about 30 people in.
I don't remember.
They were howling. I was like, oh,
But I this is a part of the reason why I'm stepping back from stand up. I don't know how you guys do. I feel empty, like I feel sad and empty. Even if I kill it, I drive home like, oh. There's no I don't know how you guys kill it. No, I fucking feel good. I just feel dead.
Yeah.
And then that's when I do great. When I do poor, it's dangerous. It's like
you stormed Chester as well.
Yeah, and I was really sick as well. I was really, really sick.
Yeah, you were sick. Yeah.
But it's just, thank you for bigging me up.
He did, yeah. Jamie's missus in. She even said to Jamie, Kev was brilliant. And then Jamie text me, and I was like, fuck him. I had to go on after you.
I watched
had some drunk cunt in the front who would get ruining it.
Oh, guys left after 10 minutes.
She thought it was improv.
I was bored after 10 minutes of your set, so I left.
I did 8.
No, but I don't know how you guys do that. And that's the other thing I find. It's so weird because improv, that's basically what emceeing is. Or even with stand-up.
Sort of, yeah.
Do you know, not improv, can I get a suggestion, please? It's like, what's your name? But then you're improving with them. But I can't, this is my issue here, is I can't separate stand-up and improv and sketch. Because that's what I always wanted to do.
So we will label the stand-up as improv, don't we, online? Like when they put out stand-up clips with crowd work, and it's either improv, and then you're like improv with the crowd.
But that's what I wanted to do when I moved to Saturday Night Live. That was my main goal as a kid. I always wanted to do Saturday Night Live. Always did characters. Back in Canada, I only did sketch and improv. I went to a school called Humber Comedy in Toronto. This was 11 years ago. And the school there, that's where it's like a comedy school it's a 2-year program. And you can go at Yuck Yucks, which is like the biggest stand-up club in Toronto. And every week they let you go on, if you're in the school, you can go on and do 5-10 minutes. And so that's really hard to come by. I did in the 2 years, the third week I did it because I had to. And then I did it at the end of second year, where it was all the industry people were there, and it's like we were getting judged, and there was agents and everything there, and I came third out of 70 people. But I was like so frightened. I don't understand it. It's scary. Also, pretending like you've never said it before, but having to act like you've just come up with it, which is a fucking art. That's something that what I've learned, and I've only been doing stand-up for a year and 8 months. So
did you just come over and decide I'll do stand-up to get by?
Not even that. It was I wanted to do stand-up to get an agent.
Right.
Because I was like, well, there doesn't seem to be any sketch stuff here, and improv, the stuff that I saw was like, oh god, no, and there's like 8 people at a show, so I was like, okay, if I can do stand up, I'll try do that, and then hopefully kind of get seen, and then I wanted to make TV shows with all my characters, and I have all the sketches and everything written that way, but then I just kind of fell into it in the best way, like it really took off, but it was like every gig, it wasn't even like nerves before a big gig, it was like dread. Going to, which is I've never had that before. It was like almost as if like I was going to like a shift at like a desk job.
So did you never want to live perform then?
I love live performing. That's it's so when I explain
When you're saying you were scared, when you said you only went to Yuck Yucks twice,
yeah,
and you were scared, like that to me tells someone who doesn't want to live perform.
No, but I was doing sketch and improv throughout the whole 2 years as well.
But live,
Yeah,
just not there.
no, because it's Yuck Yucks is only stand up. It's like
Right,
specifically just a stand up club.
I thought you were saying Yuck Yucks, you can go and do anything there if you're in that course.
Is
Yeah,
dying on your arse worse as a stand-up or as improv?
way worse as a stand
Well,
up.
that's probably why you get the dread then, isn't it? Because if anything else,
Yeah.
you can die on your arse and be fine. As a play, if you're in a play or a funny play,
Yeah.
you stick to that because everyone needs to be on the cues, don't they? So you can do a comedy play
Yeah.
and die and go, well, I didn't write it, and there's 8 of us doing this set.
But it's not even that, because I used to do tours with my buddy when we would drive 8-9 hours to like a small little town in Canada, and we performed to 100 people, like sketches that we written. I'd write songs, and like it would go so well. So when it went well, it was like you'd go and you'd get a pint after, and it was so much fun. If it went bad, it was like so funny. Whereas in
Because you're in it
stand-up,
together.
yeah, because you're like, that was so funny. You can bond on that. And I love messing about and stuff, but it's just stand up. Like, the difference is if I felt as good as I felt killing on stand up, it would weigh it out. But I would kill on stage and stand up, and I would leave just like, again, like I felt lonely.
Got away with it
Oh, yeah. Yes, that's how I felt. And so then when it went
every
bad,
single day for 10
Exactly,
years.
yes.
You don't feel like a desk job, though? Have you ever left a desk and gone, fuck?
That's what I felt like going to do stand up, and I felt so bad because I was still selling it, but it's just I wasn't in it, and I knew when I needed to at least step back. Like, I'll probably get into it again down the line, but my last stand up gig I did was December like 8th, I think, and killed it. But I knew I wasn't selling what I was giving.
Yeah.
But it still went great, and I left, and I was just like, I just felt like this is a disservice to me, to them. It went great, but I knew if I was selling it, it would go so much better. And I know people go, well, then go out and write new stuff. And it's not even that, because I was doing some new things as well, but I don't have that excitement to be like, I want to go out with a book and go to a stand-up club and just try stuff and see what happens. It's like, it doesn't, because then if it dies on its ass, I'll just feel so shit about myself. Whereas improv, I'll go and like even some stuff in Liverpool when I did the show, like there was some stuff that didn't go the best, but I was just having fun. And that's why I don't think I have fun when I do stand up.
Just why just not like stand-up? Have you ever liked stand-up?
I love,
Did you think you like it before you started?
How long
or was it
have you done it for? Sorry.
I've done stand up since I moved here, 1 year and 8 months.
But in Canada, how long?
Well, this is the other thing that people don't realize. In Canada, there's such a non-appetite for live performance. So in Toronto on a weekend, you'd be lucky in a place, like in an established place, to get like 60 people. Because everything's so big. It's not like here where it's a village and it's like the pub's there, the takeaway's there. We can walk 3 minutes to there, and it's so much more like you have to get a 40-minute Uber drive to the venue. And so people can't be asked.
But that's why a lot of Canadian comedians who come over here are very good and very hard working because of how difficult that is.
Well, they
a
realize
lot of them generally are quite good.
Well, because you're lucky.
You've
So
got to a level, haven't you?
Yeah, they've
That's the
got
thing.
to get good.
yeah, well, you have to. So you guys don't realize how lucky it is to have. But you can go to any little town and even a shitty pub, 200 people packed out, and it's like that's normal for you guys. But like as me, I'm like, oh my god. So what I did is I would only perform in Canada once every 3 months, maybe.
Oh wow, that's
Yeah.
not enough. To
And that-
get
As
good,
a
is it?
stand-up or perform
No, as a
generally,
because there's a place in Toronto called the Comedy Bar. So the 3 big hubs in Toronto, there's Yuck Yucks, Absolute Comedy. They're just stand-up clubs. And then there's a place called Comedy Bar where it's almost like Creatures, where it's like kind of everything. There's musical comedy, there's different shows. It's like the hub for comedy. The Comedy Bar, you'd be lucky to get even people walking by, because it's not that busy, like 20 people into a show, and that you're like I have a friend who has 180,000 followers on Instagram. He's gotten in the past year, and he does a monthly show, and he gets maybe 25 people in, and he's blown up, and his engagement is massive online. Thank you, but there's not an appetite. There's so many funny people there, but it's like, even you'll see these big people that were on Just for Laughs. They'll come in. Like my friend tells me about it back in Canada. Hey man, can I get on your show? And it's like, you just did a showcase for Just for Laughs. This show's to 3 people. Well, yeah, there's not much opportunity. Like there's not opportunity in Canada at all.
So they've got no option, have they, but to come to
No.
the UK or US?
But to get to the US is even harder than it is to get to the UK. So that's where I would do maybe once every 3 months. I would do some sketch, and then I stopped performing for like 6 years, and I just worked in a restaurant, and then COVID happened. So I was getting my giggles in a restaurant. I was kind of improvising with tables. I would do characters to tables that they wouldn't realize where I was from. And then they would come back a few months later, be like, I thought you were Scottish. What's going on here? I'm like, oh, I was bored. And then COVID happened, and then I started to do social media, and I was just kind of like doing dumb stuff there. And then I was like, oh, there's something here.
There's a demand sort of thing.
Yeah, and then I was like, oh, I'll come over. And then I got married, came over for my honeymoon to the UK. I don't know why. And I did Hot Waters.
You can blame her for the love of stand-up fade and that guy.
The first time I ever did Hot Water, that was when Dave Chappelle was there. So now
were you on that night?
I opened. So I'm telling people I opened for Dave Chappelle.
That was Wednesday, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So
that was the first time I did it, and I had a good fall. I was doing a lot of just Scouse comedy on back in Canada, and the Wednesday there was like, I think the doorman was like, the big, what's his name, so good,
John.
Yeah, he goes, who the fuck are you? And I was like, I don't know. He's like, the last time I've seen this kind of buzz is like when Paul Smith was coming. I was like, oh my God. So that made me shit myself, because that set that I did, if you watch it, it's on there, is the first time I did stand up in maybe 8 years. And I did 10 minutes, never did that 10 minutes before. Wow. And it went so well. So I was pleased with it. But it was just, it's just something, I just always feel like I'm just surviving on stage.
You've never really done it to like a consistent, do you know what I mean? Like we've all done like years of like 3-4 times a week just going out for nothing, and like dying in that misery, whereas you've never, you've only done that for a year and a half,
gone on and jumped on the professional circuit as well.
Yes, you're only like a year in,
and I have such bad imposter syndrome that I never even had the luxury of this. Makes me sound like such a big-headed dickhead, but I didn't even have the luxury to fail. Like you guys had that luxury to come in and be like, oh, let me try it, whatever. But I kind of came in, my second day I landed here, I did the Frog and Bucket, and I got through. So that was, I'm still jet lagged and everything, so I did that. And then the 4th day, I did a trial spot for Jim Howarth with Comedy Hotspots. And then he booked me for paid stuff. And then through that, I got all these other things. And then I guess my social media started to grow. And then people, I guess, just assumed, even though I don't do stand-up on my social media, we're like, oh, he must be doing this. It's all a facade. Social media is a load of shit. It's all a facade. People think that there's so much more success than there actually is. But yeah, it just hopped. So I always felt every week, which is amazing. I'm so grateful that I got those opportunities. But every week it felt like I was like, oh, I'm in these room with these people that have been doing this 10, 15 years. And this is my 10th gig. 12th gig.
Yeah, that's so probably not great.
No,
it's madness that. Like.
But the thing is, I was holding my own, which is so cool.
Yeah. No. It's madness that like your sort of rise, like through the circuit, is a bit also like meteoric. Like for how quick you, from like say London, never really doing stand up, to suddenly getting paid for it, to be on circuit, to being able to hold your own by being a natural performer. Sort of thing.
Yeah.
It is quite like you say, but there's no sort of. Yeah, when we talk, I'm always shocked by how little you care for stand-up. I love it.
It's not, okay, a perfect example for it. It's not that I hate it. I don't love watching.
But it seems like you said you don't like going on stage with notes and trying new stuff.
No.
That's our live for that shit.
I get that, but I've now had to go, right, I've had to make a decision of going, like, are you gonna do this, or are you just gonna keep turning up until it all fades away? Because you've got to get over that miserable bit of going to do 2 gigs Monday to Wednesday or 3 gigs, and eat shit for 10 minutes in front of a load of new acts, you go, he's meant to be the good one. He's shite. And then you get that feeling, you go, oh, God. And then all these acts have been going 6 months, go up there, storm it with their perfectly tight 10, and you've got to go and eat shit with nothing. And they go, how is he a comedian? And it's like, well, got to get over that.
That's exactly what it was like, because it was like here, and it's like, okay, you know how fast everybody follows every kind of comedian and any booker, so they're seeing me on these shows, and then they're looking at my social media, and they're going, oh, this guy must be great. So the pressure I felt every time I go up, it's like, I have to be great here. And especially since I'm new, nobody knows me, so every gig I was doing, it was the first time a producer was seeing me, and a person that would tell somebody else. I'm like, I gotta bring it here, because I want to get booked onto this thing. So I can't go up, and even on a Monday night at Creatures, where this is before it started to blossom, when there was 2 people. So I still did
the best ones, though.
There is,
for new stuff.
Yeah,
I think they're the best club going in the north for being able to go, because it's run by comedians.
Yeah,
they should get what's going on.
Yeah.
It's not like you're going to do a 10 at Hot Water and the guy who runs it off the frog, and they're just looking at it. Although they will see what comedy is and they'll get it, but they don't have new materials. But like when you go to Creatures, it's all comedians, and they're all quite new, and they just fully get it. So I think that's one of the better places to go to get the full idea out. Yeah, and then go to a 10 at Alexander's or something like that.
Well, that even with Hot Water, so I went there. I did my 10 on a Wednesday when I'd flown over from Canada, and it went great. And then I came back, and then Binty's like, oh, he like remembered me when I came back 2 years later to actually move here. And the doorman remembered me as well. And I was like, and then what's his name? He used to be the show manager there. He plays guitar, sings. John, yeah. He was like, oh, Kev, like, and he put me on. I went. This was 2 weeks after I moved here. I went and I did a Monday, and I didn't realize you had to sign up, and there was a list, but they let me go on, and I killed it. It just was working really well, and I was doing my stuff, and then, you know, when you get comfortable, you're like, okay, I know this stuff works. Yeah. But then I kept doing Wednesdays at Hot Water, and then within 6 months, I was in the semifinal of British Comedian of the Year, and I got to the final of the Hot Water New Comedian of the Year, realizing in my heat, most of the people in there had been going for 6, 7, 8, 10. One person had been going for 14 years, and I'm like, I've been going. Harry Sacchini.
Oh yeah.
He was a hilarious guy.
14, but we'll say,
or however long.
We'll say 10.
It's not far off.
But I've been going 6 months, so I'm like, and I came.
But it's mad everything that's going on to you, and you're not. Because for me, for that rise, I'd be like, this person must love comedy, know what's going on, and I'm going through this sort of rise, being like, I'm living the dream here. But you're not. You're coming in.
Oh, it's the other way.
Did you not have any idea how the industry worked?
I do, because in Canada I did acting. I was on TV for some big American TV, like Chucky. I was on that. I did little roles in different places. But how it is here for stand-up, I honestly think it's the peak. Stand-up in this country is the peak, even more so than the U.S. And I know a lot of you guys go, oh, I got to move to the U.S. I've gone to New York and just like went to Times Square and like went to stand-up shows, and there's 10 people in the audience. They're pushing people to come in. Here, you guys have audiences, which is the biggest thing for a comic. So, and it's cutthroat here. People throw somebody under the bus to get to that next step. And I know that's what it is everywhere, but I didn't realize how especially with stand-ups. Like, I will say, you look like a cunt. One of the nicest people I've come across, and that's like,
that's because I know how good I am.
That's how good he is at backstabbing, mate. He's nice that you've given up now. Yeah. He always saw that coming. He went, Kev's not here for longer than 2 years. I'll be nice to him.
No, so like with me, what I'm trying to get at is like, for your rise, because it really is, to give you due, it was impressive how quick you did it. And for anyone else I've seen who's done it that quick, they've loved stand-up since like a Jack Leto or a Dan Teenan has been obsessed with stand-up, seeing how the industry works, and like gone to loads of open mics and stuff, and then joined comedy and sort of made the right steps, as in like, I'll go do that comedy. You've just sort of landed and gone, is it right? You just sort of landed and gone, I just want to get on stage. I'll get on stage, and it's just sort of fell onto you.
Yeah, and the backlash I felt from comics was awful. The reason why I have no confidence is that actually started when I was in Canada, when I did the Humber program, because think of the Humber program in Canada. It's like the hub where all these comedians all over Canada audition to get into this 2-year program. It's college. It's literally the comedy college program.
The Humber Games.
Yeah.
You can have that.
Hey. So we're all there. So when I would get these people were going and doing stand up every night, all that, and then I came in the second year and did it for the first time in the year and came third. I lost so many friends. People were nasty. But that's all their issue. I know that they're projecting.
What, just as in like undeserved sort of thing?
Yeah, like fuck this guy. But it's like I'm not just sat at home like, yeah, okay, well let's go do it. Like I'm not doing that. I've always been obsessed with comedy. I could do word for word Austin Powers backwards and front, all 3 movies. I loved Russell
I assume
Peters.
you know you're only playing Fat Bastard like that.
Yeah, that's what I am. That's how I learned.
Just
my
don't
Scottish.
think you're going to be anything else but Fat Bastard.
But so it's not like I was just like, oh, I never liked comedy. I just got here. I never didn't like stand up. It was just something that the best way to describe it when I would explain to people like, oh, I'm stepping away from stand up. So I'm not fucking packing it in forever, but I'm just stepping away. I want to do like a musical theater or a sketch or improv, that kind of stuff. And people go, well, stand up, it's the same thing. You're on stage performing to people. And I'm like, no, think of it like stand up to me.
That's my problem. I can't understand it.
Well, just think of it. So stand up to me is like opera.
Yeah.
Where I want to do Lion King and fucking bounce around and and it's like, well, what's the same thing you're singing? It's like, no, they're singing in Spanish. Yeah, they're on stage, but they have a mask and it's very dramatic. Whereas Lion King is, I have a silly thing on, I'm bouncing around. It is the same thing. You're standing on stage, you're performing to a big theater, but it is so different. So like I have such respect for stand-up. I've gotten to be a much better writer, and it's like I have so much respect for you guys. And I think I just need to find what it is I want to do on stage. And I think that with improv, when I did it for the first time in a decade, a month ago with Evan, and saw the reaction in the audience, and then I did it at Hot Water the week later, and like people were like, that was so much fun, and I got great feedback from even the stage manager, and like it was just and then I did even a half-ass thing. I did a kids improv thing last year. It was just last second. Binty's like, can you just come do it? And like they loved it as well. Like and so I was like, that's where I was just having so much more fun on stage. And when you're having fun, you can tell the audience is having fun. And I just found with stand-up, it's just, it scares me. I don't get joy from it. As I said, when it goes amazing, I don't, like, I know you are like so erect when it goes great. Like you're like, you're on a fucking cloud. I almost feel worse when it goes great. And then when it goes bad, it's like really bad. So my wife's like, I come in and she goes, how'd it go? I was like, yeah, it was okay. And then I get booked 8 more gigs from that. And it's, and then when it was bad, she's like, so are you ever happy?
Yeah, she's sitting there going, why have I left my family and friends
What
for
the
you to be
fuck?
fucking miserable?
Yeah, and then she would come see me. She's like, yeah, you went great. I was going into competitions, you know, even Britain's Got Talent, when I did my actual audition, which is what I wanted to do, she was in the audience and she got like emotional. She was like crying because I never want her to come to gigs because I get in my head. So that was like the first time she had seen me in like 6 months perform. And I got a standing ovation and stuff. And I literally came off stage, thanked Ant and Deck, and it was great. And I went to see her and I gave her a hug and I was like, yeah, you want to get a McFlurry? Like it was not even, it wasn't like a, whoa, that wasn't that moment. Like I've read all stand-up comedians' books and it's like, that was the moment that I was like, this is it. But it's like, yeah, it was just weird.
Yeah, because you're not striving towards something.
No.
Do you know what I mean? You're doing stand-up and with people's, this is it. It's like, this is, like, I think Wozniak's probably a good example of you died on your arse for ages, didn't you? Going, I'm not performing the way I believe I can perform. And then it just sort of clicked for you, didn't
it? Yeah, I mean...
Oh, this is clicking, how you're doing now?
I do get it is nice
with like
when
you're not
you
get
a new bit that works. Like that is, I will say that is nice. You go, oh, that's a good... When it works, and you do it 3 or 4 times, you go, oh, I can still do this.
Yeah.
But sometimes when you're doing what you're doing, you're going, if you're not enjoying trying to work out something, but also then you got to make a decision. If you really want to, if you're going to do it, you've got to learn to love it almost.
Yeah.
Even if you're not loving it, you got to go, well, I've got to make a way that I can enjoy this.
Yeah, and I wasn't, this is the part that really fucked me up and I really didn't like it. I was looking at comics here and comics that were doing well and seeing how you guys talk in green rooms and stuff. And I almost started to change who I was to try fit the narrative of what a stand-up was, which I don't like, and I've always been an advocate, is just like, I want to be myself, whatever I'm doing, because you can see through it eventually. And then, so that's what I was doing. I was looking, I'm
In
like,
what
okay,
essence did you?
like even not to the, because you're so much extreme different of how I perform on stage, but even how it's like set up, punchline, you know, this, that, it's okay, that stand. So how I've always been on stage is very sassy and silly and kind of chaotic and fun and like all that nonsense. But I started to pull back and be like, okay, this is how stand up. So when I first, if you actually watch when I first started doing stand up to the first time, yes, it was nervous energy, but it was like I was very walking back and forth and little kicks and all that stuff. And then it got to the point that I'd kind of stand with the mic and just kind of talk. And I started to hate that guy. So I'm like, who's this guy? Who's this? I'm trying to be like, so what's up? Like, I'm like, that's not me. So I love about improv as much. I feel so much more, I feel free now. Because it's like, now it's like, I don't care. I'm going to go up to a comedy club. Like, I can't wait for Creatures. Evan and I are starting a weekly improv show every Thursday at Creatures, which I can't wait, because I know, especially with filming it, and it's all about clips, but I know we'll get viral clips from that, and I know that it's going to blow up. Because there's nobody does improv here. I've looked around. I've seen the people that do improv, and it's
not the level you.
No
Comedy store play is there.
I always thought that was more like quite political though. I didn't realize that was just.
I think Merton was massive back in the day. I don't know if he's quite as.
Still does it, doesn't he?
But people like that. People have such a taste for stand up, but they haven't seen. People love silly. The first time I saw Jack, was it Jack Gledo or Gledo?
Gledo.
I saw him maybe 2 months ago. It was that first time I saw him, and I watched it, and I was like, why am I not doing stand up like that? Because that's how I.
Yeah, but that's what I've said to you a lot of times. Though, like you're sort of, I don't know. I feel like sometimes you blame the art form rather than for you for not just sticking to your guns and stuff.
Yeah, because I'm mentally unwell. Because I have no confidence. My imposter syndrome. Any success I get, the difference with you, it builds you up, and you go, I am great. This is telling me I'm great.
Yeah.
Where I go, fuck, I'm gonna get found out here. So it's like, I got here the first week I got here, I was like, I'm gonna come to UK and fucking blow its tits off. And now I'm like, I don't even feel like I can do an open mic. Like I've gone.
Why don't you try and have the mindset of you go like, oh, you know what, I'm going to keep doing this, and I can't wait till I get found out.
Well, that's why I want to do improv.
What do you mean can't wait to get found out? Isn't
like rather than go like, oh, I'm going to get found out, go, you know what, let's just do this, and until I get found out, it'll be funny when I get found out.
Because right now I feel like I'm just a guy that does voices, and I don't feel like I have any funny. And it's just like, oh yeah, it's impressive that I can do these different accents.
Yeah, but we all feel like we're just the people who shout. We're just the people, you know.
Yeah, but so that's what what I did. I think
I just swear.
You actually were the one person that
just
changed.
Swear. That's the best thing to do, Kev. I say that to one. I did it work. I said to that one. I was like, if it's failing, just say cunt. And then it wasn't popping off, and they said cunt at one point, and they got a laugh, and I was like, see, just swear.
No, I was only here.
I literally give the opposite advice to John May.
Like, don't swear.
Stop saying slag and cunt. Yeah. instead of jokes, don't say slag and cunt. Right?
Got to read the room. Got to go. We'll just swear and do for these.
I'd only been here, I think, 4 or 5 months when I did your podcast a year or so ago, and you were the first person. I was like, I thought you were high the whole time, and then you were like, just stop caring, like don't give a fuck, and I was like, what? And I started doing that, and it did work a little bit. Yeah. But again, that's not my my style. Is like, you see me on stage and you want to root for. That's what I'm going for. Let's root for Kev because he's almost like a little kid who's It's almost like, think of like a Christmas where you like get that 4-year-old who's like, show me your dance.
You know what you're talking about now? Yeah. Do you not think that would be interesting and funny to do as stand up?
That's what I don't get. That's saying. That's my thing. I think you like you said, you're saying because you're mentally unwell. You let yourself change. Why didn't you just stick to your guns?
I don't know. I literally had a bit that I thought of.
If you said you hated this on stage, they would laugh because they go, "That's real."
Yeah.
If you went, So if you just went, "Oh God, I absolutely hate this right now," they would love it.
I want to dance.
Yeah.
I know.
I want to dance. I want to be silly. I'm sick. I'm sick of being depressed for you cunts.
Yeah.
Well, I had a bit, and it's so fucking weird because I haven't performed in the last was the hot water show. So I haven't performed in almost a month. So I'm like, my nuts are tingling. Like I want to perform.
Yeah.
And I have a bit that I want to try on stage, but I'm conflicted because I don't want to do stand up right now. But it's like I can't really do it as a sketch. But remember as a kid, I'm trying it a bit right now to you guys. Remember as a kid, when you'd have like a toy and your like family friends would come over and they'd be like, oh, go get your toy. And you'd show them and you kind of like show them or your shirt and you'd kind of like pose and they'd be like, oh, look at that. It looks great. Why did that stop as adults? Like I'm so annoyed
it's the toy.
Yeah, so they come in and like your wife goes like,
You had-
go up and show them your new tie.
You had different childhoods to us, though.
Yeah, you were abused, weren't you?
No, I just act like it.
No, show the toy. So show the shirt.
So you come down to like your family, your older family, or like your wife's friends, and you're kind of like almost staying like how you would as a kid, and you're kind of like, yeah, and it's a flip, it's a reverse tie, like as you do show and tell, like in
like
school.
a reversible jacket. So you got a jacket that you can wear both ways.
Yeah. But you know, like as
Like
a kid,
lights
you
up
show your
shoes and you go stamping your
And then it's got like four
Double the
pockets
lights up.
inside.
Yeah,
like,
so you're showing-
and one there and one in and even in.
and all the adults are going, good job, Kevin. You go, yeah, and I put my phone in there and this there, and you're kind of like showing it off like you would in show and tell. But I thought it's such a funny juxtaposition because it just stopped now. Now, even when you get cool stuff, you can't show it off to anyone. Stamp up shoes, the best. I remember fucking coming in, stamping, and there it is. And now, like, I got like cool Crocs, or I get something on my Croc, and I'm like, here, and they're like, nice. I'm
So
like,
the adult equivalent might be something to do like with a power tool, isn't it, or something in the garage. You know, it's some like losers showing you his new knife set or something, which I spoke on the pod. Like, you go, look at this knife I love, and they go like,
but it needs to be acted out like a 4-year-old when they're showing their toy, and they're like, and it does like this action figure, and so the knife, you're like, yeah, and it can cut oranges really good, and wow, look at you, yeah, it's pretty cool. Like, I just think it's a funny thing.
You never did that on stage?
I've never done. I probably have 8 hours of stuff that I've written down that I've never tried, and probably 7 hours and 45 minutes.
You do that right. If I had that idea, I'd immediately go, don't do that. It's not you.
Yeah,
that's gay. Like,
thank you.
Like, that's what be going on in my head. Don't do that. Don't act it out. Just fucking.
Yeah.
If you can't just say it, don't fucking do it. And then whereas you should be the opposite. You shouldn't be thinking.
But I would, and that's the thing. I know that would work. Like, because I'm not acting it out right now, but on stage, I know if I acted it out and I was like, and I'd probably take somebody's keys and be like, yeah, I got a new car, and you know, this is the horn. And like, thank you very much. Like, I would act it out and have fun with it. But it's just, I stopped doing it. So I know, like, I turned down. I don't even know if I'm allowed to say this, but is that on still? Yeah.
Probably not. No, in this podcast.
Do you know Andy Parsons?
Yeah.
He wanted me to come open for him for a few of his gigs, and I said no. And then Frog and Bucket reached out to me to do my 20s, and I just said, you know, I've also been on a soap. I'm filming a soap right now. I don't know if I'm even allowed to say it.
No.
Yeah, no.
So
Good one.
Yeah. Top one.
Is it?
Yeah.
Channel 3, ITV.
ITV, yeah.
So I'm on
You're
that.
fucking moaning for it. Cunt. Damn right, you should give up stand-up. Turning down 20s at one of the biggest clubs in the north, and then turning down a comedy legend on panel shows and
I know
starring in the best soap.
But I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that as in like a flex. It's like that goes to show. Like, let's just say hypothetically, I went and I did that show for Andy, who's such a funny dude, and I was very transparent to them. I said, thank you so much for this opportunity. Hopefully down the line, I'd love to go again. I said, right now, I'm just taking a step back from stand-up. And the person was lovely. They were like, amazing, absolutely, thank you for that. And I was like, I'm doing sketch and improv. And then right away, he was like, oh, I have a sketch show that we're in development. So I was like, okay, yeah, just keep me in the loop. Haven't heard anything back. But with the Frog, I was on the soap that day, so I wasn't able to go at the time. So I was transparent with her. I said, hey, I'm filming some stuff here. Please keep me in mind, because it was very last minute. Because I did my 15 minutes there, and it was like one of the best sets I ever did. But that was like 6 months ago, and I blew its tits off, and then I just didn't hear anything. I was like, okay.
So you got a full role. You got a full role in the soap.
Just 6 episodes, but I'm hoping that I can get, because they do that a lot. They'll write more.
Steve Harris had one. I don't think he's got.
How'd you feel? Like, so when you come away from recording the stuff for the soap,
it's Corey. I'm not going to tell you what it is, but it's Corey that I'm on. So I'm sure everybody knew that. So
how's that feel?
Very interesting. That sounds so negative, because it's not comedy at all. It's so
it's performing though, isn't it? You get what I mean? It's like how
it was so. I did my audition. So I did my audition in January, and I was really sick, and I had some flu.
Rick Carr will be cursing him, won't he?
So I did. I sent it in. Nobody realized how funny this is. The character I'm playing is in the NHS. I'm a nurse, which is not the picture of health. So I shouldn't be helping anyone.
Yeah, but you've never seen a doctor, they're all fat.
Yeah, go to the NHS. They're all
but I sent it in, so I just did it like a northern. Like I had to play it really like, don't worry, very generic. The classic. Like, it's all right. We all go through this. Like that shit.
Is it a slight comedy role?
No, not at all. So, and when I do accents, the very fucking, all right, fucking
exaggerated,
big and,
yeah.
So this was really hard to kind of play it like legit and, very normal. So I'd go out to like B&M and I was talking to people like that and just trying to do it very...
Was you?
Yeah, because I was just being like, okay, I need to bring it into like, I can do it where it's not a caricature. I was just doing it normal. So... sent it in.
Accents, mate. Sorry, I'm just impressed by accents.
Immigrants coming over here,
Really
taking our
steal our
roles, man.
Really wish I could do accents, mate.
So I sent it in. An hour later, I got the job. And then I go in to do it, and none of them knew I was Canadian. So I was like, hey, how's it going? And they were all kind of like, hi. So I was like, yeah. And I'm like talking to people, oh, this is really cool. And then this one guy was like a Scouser. I'm like, oh, Scouser. And then they were like, okay, action. And then I started like doing my thing, and the director went, "Sorry, cut. What happened?" And I was like, "What?" And he was a very sassy, like gay London man. He goes, "What? Sorry, I'm just confused. Fantastic. I didn't mean to cut in, but it was just anybody else?" And they're like, "Yeah." Like I thought he was just gonna be a Canadian guy, so that was really cool, and it was cool to actually act.
Yeah.
I felt a little bit bored because it's the same kind of like,
What characters were you interacting with, like Corey, with the big ones?
One that I've had a
You're not
crush
allowed
on.
to say.
So yeah, I won't. I'll tell you after. But one I've had a crush. She's been on it for like 20 years.
Can't be that many then. Gotta be.
Yeah, because I genuinely think you shouldn't say because
I
give away a
wanna-
storyline.
Yeah.
Remember when David Platt posted the
If they're in hospital and he's just said he's a nurse. So we now know you mentioned who we're talking to. We know they go to hospital.
So I won't say anything. Thank you, Rob. But yeah, one of them like I've had a crush on it. I filmed today. And
I don't even know who's still in it.
Sarah Lou or Maria?
I don't even know who's still in it.
No,
the last time I watched it before being on it was in like 2004. Because my mom would have it on all the time. It's huge in Canada, like massive.
There's that one who goes to the comedy. That's was at one of the hot water gigs. Was on it, wasn't she? 5 years she did.
Yeah, Jack Carroll's on it as well. Jack.
Yeah.
Is it Jack Carroll? Yeah. Jack Campbell. I don't know what.
Yeah,
it is.
Jack Carroll's had a few.
He's like a main staple on it.
Is he?
Yeah, he's been on it for like 2 years, I think.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he's plays in the sun.
Carla Connors.
Talking about business and comedy there.
That's
Are you trying to out me right now?
Carla Connors' son or something, is it? Yeah.
I don't know what you're on about. Like,
she's quite an attractive one as well.
you're assuming, and like, I finished. Who's Scott Sinclair's ex-wife?
Oh, Helen Flanagan.
I was done with her. Like when she left, that was me done.
I found when I was on it though, it was really exciting to collab with people and like actually have moments.
Did you feel more fulfilled?
Yeah, even though it wasn't comedy, but I would much rather be comedic. So that's why I'm hoping and praying, because what they do a lot of times, they'll have somebody on and then they write them in all the time. So if they were to write me in like an actual 6-month
I
contract,
could see you with Norris in the corner shop.
Oh yeah,
Good that. Two
gossip.
sassy little
gossip.
Northerners.
bringing out the sass in Norris.
Yeah.
but I would want to
You look
slowly integrate more comedy, because in the whole 6 episodes, there's one scene that I was able to.
He's done 6 scenes. He's like, I'm going to make Coddy a comedy. I'm an arrogant cunt. I'm an arrogant cunt. But he's sitting there going, I'm going to make Coddy a comedy.
They do have like Steve Harris's one was meant to be comic. He was meant to be a larger than life. Sean, he's quite comic.
I don't know any of these people.
Sean's the gay hairdresser type. He's meant to be quite a funny light relief. Sean and Norris have got quite a bit of comic relief in
Hasn't
there.
Gail's Margaret heard us no more?
She wasn't comic relief though. The comedy characters in there, like Kirk, used to be a bit comedy.
Yeah.
Sean, Fizz a little bit. Kirk, Fizz.
Then he made the serious, didn't he?
Yeah. Who else has been?
Was his name Tyrone?
Tyrone was never funny.
I remember Les Bad.
The mechanic.
No, he was never.
He was funny.
He wasn't.
No, he was not. Tyrone. It was always just intense.
Sean Norris, all the little like sort of camp sort of people that they can just go, you have a bit of sass.
Well, that's what, like, there was one scene in the 6 episodes where, like, I bring in a thing and give it to a girl, and I was able to do kind of like a very subtle face, and that the whole thing, I was like, I feel like I did my one comedic thing, so I felt good.
Were you trying to make them laugh as well, the other actors? Because they're very good, aren't they?
The first episode, when I got there, and it was a real heavy scene, and I'm trying to joke around with them, and they're in, like, cry mode. Yeah. And I'm like, yeah, okay, scene. Everything all right? And they're crying, and then I text them. I'm like, "Fucking, everybody's very dry here." And I'm like, "Oh, this is the
everybody's very professional."
Yeah. I'm trying to have a joke, and then so I'd like leave. I'd finish my scene, and then I'd have to walk at a scene, and then another would be coming in to do a real heavy scene, and I'd walk out, and go, fucking slag, as I'm walking out to try and then she had to tell me, she goes, you have to stop doing that because I have to come in and do like an actual like serious thing, but I was making her laugh before going off. And then today, the director was like...
Toxic that on the workplace, to be honest.
Yeah, he's wrong, that.
I did that in the office, going, slagging
it. The director
Sometimes I meet female comedians on and just say, your next slag is...
Oh, God. The director today is really nice dude. I was getting along with him well. And then he was like, yeah, come in and just kind of, just... pretend like you're, because I was going to a bar, and he's like, oh yeah, just say you're getting some sort of drink and fucking something like that. And I was like, okay, so do you want the fucking in there? Because I'll say fucking for you. And they all went, guys,
they're just thick, aren't they, actors? They're just thick.
No, they're all lovely, and I can't wait. I hope I'm back on set.
Vacuous.
Fuck off. But even though it wasn't comedy, it was a lot of fun. But I know, like, my dream, I have a show that it's basically a mix that I want to pitch. It's like a mix of Coronation Street and Little Britain together, called The Grove, and I have almost like an Eddie Murphy style, where I play all the characters on the street.
Of course, you play every character.
Of course, I need it all about me.
But I'm arrogant, but you play every character.
You would if you could. You just said you wish you could do fucking accents. You'd be right on that.
Saving money, spending time with too many other comics.
But yeah, I don't know. Maybe down the line, like, I have a few big ones booked for the end of the year for stand up, and so I haven't
cancelled them.
Yeah, because it's just right now. It's like, okay, I want to find because I was starting to resent all comedy. Like, I was like, I didn't like it. I didn't want to watch it.
Thought it was all shit.
Not that it was shit. It was a me thing. So it's not. I wasn't like bitter and like fuck everything. But I was like, I'm not enjoying this. I'm really sad. I feel like ridiculous amount of pressure. Like, I did a gig for Bobby Murdoch.
That's a lot of pressure. That
is a lot of pressure.
That's a lot of pressure.
But I did it.
Right,
and,
Kev, come here, Kev.
Your own logo.
Come on, Kev, come here.
I don't know if this is going
Here's
on
what,
there.
Here's what you want to do, Kev.
But I did it, and I was closing it.
Stop doing the voices, Kev. Stop it. Stop doing the voices.
Is that the impression?
You can close my gigs if you get me a part on Corey.
That's me doing Bobby. Stop with the voices, Kev. Come on.
Got a standing ovation in his show. It was I closed it, and then there was rough. There was like 200 people, and it was like they were fucked. And that's the other thing I realized. I'm not good with heckles because I never get them.
Yeah.
Because I'm used like scattergun with, so no, I don't give time like even you guys where somebody could say something. So there's one woman, she was talking throughout it, and she was fucked. And my sassy, this guy, it went, and I went, can you actually shut the fuck up? Like, actually, you're fucking ruining this. And the whole audience went like, and I went, sorry. Anyways, let's get back to it. But it's because I don't, it got like, it was like, hey, we're having fun. Actually, shut the fuck up. Like, you're really pissing me off right now.
So Lisa Riley as well.
It worked. It shut her right up. But
did the audience accept you going back to being?
Oh, they loved it.
All right.
So it went. They all like. I heard like a, and I went. Anyways,
I'd expect that to go the other way.
Me too. So I felt my asshole.
How big's the gig? Is it a
one
big?
That I did it.
The one that you told her to shut up, was it like a small?
It was in like a.
Was it Bobby Murdoch?
Yeah, it was like there was like 200 people in, but it was in like a cricket club kind of thing.
Oh right, I'm with you.
But it was like, I remember before I go on, there was people throwing coasters across, and I was like, oh, for fuck's sakes,
Curry, get him on the Curry.
Get him on the Curry.
Yeah. It was rough. But then I went on, and I had that's where they were with me the whole 20 minutes, which was great. And then he said he's been doing this for like 15, 20 years, and he's like, the only other person I've seen getting a standing ovation is Steve Royal. And I was like, okay, I mean, I've never seen Steve Royal.
2 non-stand-ups.
Love being here. Thanks for having me. Bitter cunt. But yeah, I don't know. I think
So how much resentment did you feel from the circuit? Then? Did that bring you down?
hugely. I feel. I don't know if you know, when I would go in to do a thing, I wouldn't sit in the green room. I would pace out the front because I was so nervous all the time. But I think people had this. I couldn't win. It's either if I talked to them, they'd be like, "Oh, this fucking guy thinks he's coming in here." If I didn't talk to them, it was like, "This fucking guy thinks he's better than us." And I felt that, and I've heard that from other comics.
I was going to say, how much of it do you think was perceived, and how much of it was real?
I think it was
not real, but you know what I mean. How much of it was?
It was probably like 60-40, so 60% real, 40% in my head. You know, I overthink everything.
Yeah, you are.
But even like my first time I ever did 20 minutes was at the Laughter Lounge in Dublin in front of 400 people. That's the first time I ever did 20. I went from a 10-minute set and I didn't have 20 minutes. And they're like, we'll book you for the weekend. So I went over and I did.
I'll just do Queen for 5 minutes at a time.
This is insane.
Yeah.
Were you big online at this point, or were you just?
It was okay. I'm not even big now.
Did you done BGT at this point?
No.
So when you say you're not big, why are you online?
I don't really care. Like TikTok's a load of shit. TikTok, some over 400,000.
The gram was on me.
Instagram, and I was banned for 4 months. And it's only when I got unbanned, then I went from 30,000. Now I think I'm at 130, and that's within, maybe 8 months. Which is great, but that's where even when I did the show at Hot Water, I was going to try to do emceeing, and I went, "Hey, I don't know if you saw this one. Anybody seen me before in person?" And it was silent. I said, "Anybody see me online?" And they all cheered. And then I got so many messages after being like, "Why didn't you do more characters? Why didn't you do that?" And I'm like, "Yeah, what the fuck? Why? My online audience knows me for doing characters and silly things. Why am I going on trying to be like, so what's your name? What do you do for work?"
I said that to you.
I know, but that's what I thought. This is how you MC. What's your name? What do you do for work?
Is this at your Kev, Finn and Friend show?
Yeah.
Right, okay. So
Which
that's different than the
Which
club,
I
mate.
told you to change. Just call it Kev Finn's Cabaret. And then
I know.
just be a bit free with it.
I also felt in my head and it's probably just a me thing going into Hot Water.
I'm terrible because I've got no empathy. No, is it empathy? Where's the one where you put yeah, I think it's empathy. I just can't understand how people think. And when people don't think like me, I just don't get it.
I realized how delusional you are when we played the charity match, and this man wouldn't come off the pitch. He had a number. We were the two fattest, and we only had black shirts on because you couldn't fit into the actual.
To be fair,
thing.
the dugout was a big walk.
It
is easier to shout while still on the penalty spot saying, "No, I'm not coming off."
I couldn't believe it. I think you did 10 steps in the whole match, and the confidence. Like he thought he was Messi. Like you thought Messi and Steve.
With a Y on I.
If I'd got the ball, I
saw it and it was shit. I saw it happen and it was terrible. And I'm
Were you in goal? Were you a keeper?
No.
Where was he?
He's a tricky winger, isn't he?
Was he?
But I hadn't played
The
football.
same as me. He's
again.
a fuck up with a touch.
Are you two both playing in the next one?
I've said I'll
I'll
play.
do it. Yeah. But I realized that was the first time I ran in probably a decade, and I got the ball and I did a trick and I skinned one guy. Then my legs fell under me.
Fell over.
And I fell over. Ass over tits. Terrible.
Just tired.
Oh,
just
and
couldn't
I just
take.
came on.
Yeah.
It was from the bench to the halfway line. I was fucked.
Yeah.
And then they're like, track back, Kev, track back. I'm like, I can't fucking walk back. Jesus, I was fucked. And then
so
Rob,
funny.
nobody yelling at him. He's just stood there. Come on, lad, fucking run for it.
Yeah. And then watching people boozing over my head, go, what the fuck?
This match.
What am I going to do with that?
What a terrible game of football that must have been.
It was
Just
so
standing
funny.
there watching the ball over my head, thinking, what the fuck?
But then people were like going like really hard, and I'm like, if somebody twatted me, I'd be like, I'm suing. Like, why are we taking this that
Oh, sorry,
serious?
say that again. Just say that again.
I'm suing. I'm literally suing.
I'm suing.
Because people were fucking going in. I'm like, okay, lads, come on. Like,
From the impression of it, the only one that was actually playing football seems to be Gary Highland, and the rest he just.
No, but
seems
even
to be
he
just
was running around beating
fat
everyone.
cunt shot.
yeah.
Gary was running around. He wasn't like doing anything with the ball. He was running around
I
beating
just
people.
had a big game of FIFA online or something.
All I wanted to do was penalties because I was brilliant.
Right.
I was
It
hitting
was
them in
just
the top
watching
corner.
the ball. It was watching the ball just go
Yeah,
up, and you're like,
I imagine.
and I'm there just like, at the size
I
of
can't
me,
believe
just
you did 90
Give
minutes.
me it to me feet, man.
I can't believe you did. I think it should have been 15 each half.
5 would have been enough. And I wish it should have been on a 5-side pitch.
Who the fuck was he to put that thing on?
I didn't realize, and then for that I didn't know that for Owen the person didn't realize they passed away, Owen McVeigh. Like, so I'm like, I posted the thing.
Did you get a chance to meet him or something, did you?
No. So I just done it the weekend before. It was Jack asked me to come and do it. And I was like, yeah, great. So I put a filter on my face with Ronaldo, when he had the hair in 2002. So I went, all right, I'm playing the game. I'm going to meet me best pal Owen. I'm going to be doing this and you're doing that. And then Jack's like, Kev, I don't know if you know. And I went, oh, for fuck's sake. Delete that up, fucking silly. Gap tooth, hair. Terrible. So,
wow.
But I think anyways, going back to.
It's good if Jack had told you that rather than just let you go and, like.
Well, I would have. If somebody said, like, keep that up, that's great.
Yeah.
But I think I will. I'm not dying yet, even though I look like I'm on. I know I'm close.
You two same age?
Yeah, I think he's younger than me, aren't you?
How old do you think I am? This is pissing me off. I guess I've aged very poorly in the past 2 years here.
Right.
You're not going to
judging by what you've just said then.
I think you two are the same age.
33.
31.
31. Right. I'm 33. You're 37.
Yeah. But this is only in the past year and a half, the grays.
Okay. Yeah, I'm
bad.
Now, yeah.
Oh, and it happens. If you first get it within a year.
The weather gets you.
It's the weather. Every middle-aged woman here has a limp. I've noticed. I don't know what it is in the seaside.
It's just because there's no muscle to carry around what they've created. Same with all of us.
You just get old, and that's just what you just accept what it is.
Yeah, you do see some people's gaits, and you think,
do you
God,
fix
what
things
happened?
in Canada?
Do I fix things?
As in, like, do you just go and get things sorted? Would you go to doctors in Canada?
It's great. I used to have I was such a bad hypochondriac. Like, do you know what that is? I don't know if you're intelligent enough. Do you know what that is?
I know what it is, yeah.
Yeah, so do you know what it is?
Yeah, heard of it.
I've heard of it. For those who don't know, if I had like a pain in my stomach, I'd be like, I have cancer. Like I'm dying. So I would go into Canada and I go, I've been getting a searing headache here. I want to get a CAT scan. And the next day I'd be able to go and get a CAT scan.
Wow, that's great.
It's amazing here. And here it's so like you come in, your foot could be on your ear and they'd be like, 7 years? Is that okay? You free 7 years from now? Like, it's so bad. I had the worst chest infection.
So we just
ever.
limp. That's what we do. Just limp.
Probably no.
Get on with things.
Just ankle for a foot.
I've got a baggy eye. No.
Well, I could see, yeah.
And it's just that's the way it's going to be the rest of my life.
Oh, and that's the only.
I just
How has
accept
it
it.
happened? Have you sung?
Just accept it. I've got a baggy eye. Well, this eye is baggy, and it's just.
That's the only health issue you have.
What?
That's the only health issue you have.
It's the only immediate one.
Ah,
Are you not at this moment now? Because I'm at this moment. Sometimes I go to sleep when I'm really full, and I'm like, I think this is it. I think tonight is the night. Like the heart's gone. Like I'm like, I go to sleep and I touch my wife.
I had
This is
a
not even a
thought.
joke. I've gone. I love you a lot, Alyssa. Like, and I've looked up, like, laid on my left side. I'm like, I'm done. Like, I'm so full.
I've been
like,
thinking that lately. Like, I've been lying in bed lately and I've been going like, I really think I need to give my heart like a full rest. Like, not like this thing can't stop. Like, it just needs to have half an hour to just fully shut down. Like, if the car engine starts revving, it's like just turn the engine off. Just let it rest and then stop. Like, this has got to do another 50 years, hopefully. It's like, there's no way it's making that.
Well, and like, I don't really drink. I don't drink at all. I don't smoke. I don't do any drugs, nothing like that. But it's like I eat a gross amount.
Mad how you're fat.
It is. Because like I'll eat 6-7 chocolate bars in a sitting. No problem. But like I'm not a big like food eater. Like if I go to McDonald's, I get a quarter pounder and a mayo chicken. That's like my go-to order, which is still a lot.
£4 a meal.
Yeah.
With a mayo chicken cheese.
Yeah. And sometimes I've been
Mayo
asking
chicken
double
cheese or a
quarter
mayo
pounder.
chicken meal.
No, fuck off.
A mayo chicken doesn't come as a meal.
I don't
Yeah.
know. You never know what these like.
These pop
Not a Stormzy order, whatever it's bringing out now. What the fuck is that about?
It's weird. Yeah, it's weird. My weight, and then I have. Well, it's not on now, but I have a. This is how. I think I need to either have a heart attack or get diagnosed with diabetes for me to make a change because I have my heart watch on.
You need your wife to fuck off back to Canada.
I know. She got emotional with me a year ago. She's like, "I'm worried, Kevin." I was like, "This is the moment." And
Don't worry.
well, it's because I've gained.
Kevin, worried.
I've gained a lot, but I have a heart like an Apple Watch, and then
Kev found a Toby Carvery for the first time. She's like, Kevin, worried.
I ate so much at a Toby Carvery in December that I threw up in the parking lot. I know. That was a low, and I don't know why I shared that with
There's
everyone.
been so many lows with you, though.
That was a low.
Low.
I burped, and mashed potato came out.
Oh my God.
And it was on my birthday. My wife went like, "What are you doing?" And I went like, it came up, and I was like, "This is a low." Like that was
bad, yeah.
that when I was.
I have had that though, and you have.
Because I don't because it's all kind of mush in Toby's Carvery, so you're just kind of baby food eating.
Yeah.
So it just like and I was like, oh my God. She just, it was like not even like, oh, are you okay? It was like, what are you actually doing?
Yeah.
Because I spit up like a baby, like literally in the parking lot. And she was like, okay. And then I drove home quiet because I was so embarrassed. It was bad. That was bad. I would never, like, and I went again.
Have you ever had therapy?
I'm in it now.
No, but like you're in it, like you genuinely are in therapy.
I'm genuinely in it now, yeah.
How long you been doing it for?
Since I've been here. Help me master. It's just
a year.
What, like just landed and went to therapy?
No, about a year, not like solid, but I'll go like my therapist actually, again, this could be a bit. She told me she's retiring. And I was like, oh, great. Like, that's great. I'm just connecting with you. And she's like, yeah, I'm done. Because I went in and I was talking to her. I actually had this as a bit as well, and it never worked. Because I went in and I told her, because she kept missing every other week she was missing. So I came in and I was like, hi, yeah. I said, how are you? I don't know why I said that. I was like, how are you doing? She and instead of just going like, yeah, I'm all right. Like, let's focus on you. She goes, I actually have potential skin cancer issue. And I'm like, now how am I supposed to tell you after that I'm sad?
I just threw up potatoes.
I ate my feelings to the point that I spit up. And she's like, I have potentially cancer. And I was like, okay, yeah. And then I started talking to her about it, and I'm paying her for that. I'm like, yeah, it's fine. Just you need to relax yourself. And then I'm like, yeah. You know, my wife, I got my pants aren't fitting as well as they used to, so I feel your pain. Like, nuts.
What's going on with you, Kev? Well, I've just smashed BGT, but I just don't feel happy.
That's literally for 4 months. That was my therapy sessions all the time. And then I was like, yeah, Peter Kay called me this, and I was like, but I'm at a phase now, if I got called for a huge Hollywood movie, and this is, I'm sure some people can relate with this that are not delusional. If I got called for, I'm not delusional.
Movie, I just have a high opinion of myself.
Mine's so low.
I got this out when you said it before. This literally was. I wasn't being a cunt. This is literally my reaction. So another comedian wrote to me. Everyone at the show last night was talking about how great your stuff is at the moment. Well, loads had seen it. So I wrote, at the moment, cunts need to wake up and realise I've been the pinnacle for about 5 years.
It sounds funny, but he means that. Like, it sounds like you're like being like
genuinely meant it. I genuinely meant it. Like, what the fuck do you mean at the moment? Like,
so, but that's like, I could book a Hollywood movie right now and be it with all my heroes, Will Ferrell, Mike Myers, be in that and be on there. But I would still say to my wife, like, oh, yeah, but Will Ferrell's the one that people care about. Like, I wouldn't be able to disconnect and be like, I'm on a movie with my heroes, and they think I'm funny and told me I'm funny. And then within 2 months, I'm like, yeah, well, now it's out of the box office and nobody cares. Like, that's something I need to work on because there's never...
You'll never be happy.
And so that's, to get genuinely serious, I realize that I've had no money. I've had a decent amount of money. I've been thin. I've been... Not thin. Fuck off. Trying to be serious here. I actually was down. I was 100 pounds less than I am now.
I wasn't down it. I was just saying it's so funny.
Not thin. I was average. I was above average, but I was still looked good.
Would you think it'd be easier becoming a millionaire or being thin again?
But I realized that this sounds so lame, especially on this podcast, but it's literally from within. I could sell out 16,000 seaters. I could be on a big TV show. I could do all this stuff. And if it's something inside, that's why all these huge stars, all my heroes apparently, die from speedballs, die from overdoses, die from car accidents, suicide, because it's like they get everything that they think. Now I'll be happy when I get this, and it's scary that you don't have that.
That's a lie.
What do you mean?
I don't think it's now I'll be happy like they were always upset. I think a lot of it is I've reached the top, and it's only down from here, so I'll just stay top.
Well, but then you'd also think when I get to top, then I'll actually feel happy. So Chris Farley, I don't know if you ever heard of Chris Farley, is the perfect example of being at the top and still actually asking people, am I funny? And he was on all movies, was everything, died by himself from a speedball. Like, and I've had that as well. Like I don't, somebody, and this is a toxic thing in my family, they would say, my mom is the worst for it. Oh, you look lovely. I absolutely love how you look. You're fantastic. As you're turning around, walking out the door, Jesus Christ, did you see him? He looked fucking awful. So my whole thing, if somebody's saying, Kevin, you're really funny, I go, thank you. But then I think as you're walking through the door, you're whispering that he's fucking shit. He needed that little
Not a bad way to be, though.
Yeah, my family were the opposite. My grandma was like, told I was getting engaged. Went with the best lose some weight, then fit in the suit, wouldn't you fucking want? And she's the loveliest woman I've ever met. She was like, But she never said it like that. My nan would have said it like that. My grandma was like, "Oh, it's amazing, son. Do you not think you should, just to get in a nice suit, you should maybe?"
Oh, I had that as well. So I had the
get
worst.
onto your childhood and that. Have you got any
Oh, that's where it's all from. And I'm
so you got
unlocking it, and I'm like, fuck me. Like I wasn't abused, but it was like, it was like I had to grow. I was like 6, and I was so aware of my surroundings. And this is where I think comedy, there was a little bit where maybe for stand-up, that's why I have a bit of a pullback, is because from 6, Christ, this is heavy, I would be aware if my mom and dad would start fight, and I would try and make them laugh, which is so sad as a 6-year-old to be aware of that. I would wear tearaway pants, and I'd come down, and I would do Freddie Mercury, Dido, and I would run around at 6, and because I could feel the tension building between them, and I would make them laugh, and so almost I had that resentment of like, fuck you, I don't want your guys' laughs now. I don't feel like I need to do
You're
this.
an only child.
No, I had my brother as well, but he didn't give a fuck. He was like, I think he's closeted. He was just somewhere.
Do you think he's closeted?
Yeah. You think I'm gay? Fucking hang out with him.
Oh, so
I've met him.
you're the
He's
youngest.
He seemed fine.
Yeah, I'm the young. He's 18 months older.
Okay, so you used to feel the pressure to try and make everything okay in your house.
Yeah, and he was just playing computer games and listening to Spice Girls. My dad bought him a porn mag because he's like, my son's fucking
Did
gay.
your mum and dad stay together?
No, so this is when I was they were fighting all the time when they were 12. When I was 12,
Yeah, but she was Irish and he was Scouse.
yeah, and my mom's like a
Well, they're going
chihuahua.
to
She
fight
would
then, aren't they?
not leave him alone, and he'd be like, fucking give me a minute. And it was just, so we split. They split up.
I wonder how much of that is the surrounds of Canada as well.
Oh, my dad hated it.
Like if you were back here and every other couple on the street is
Yeah.
exactly the same,
Well,
you wouldn't have felt nothing. We're in Canada where it's so nice and
Well, I
everyone's
said
so
that.
polite.
That's the first time I said it in Liverpool. The month ago was the first time I did it. I'm like, this could actually be a really good bit. And I was like, I grew up with my dad's Scouse Council Estate energy in Kumbaya Land. So everybody's like, hi. He was like, fuck off. Like it was so different. So they split up and we moved to Ireland and he moved to Huddersfield. And they were just about to get back together and get a house in Ireland. And then he fell down the stairs and died. It's funny now.
Legit, or
Legit
is
fell down the
it
stairs.
circumstances?
No,
surrounding
this isn't like a funny he fell down the stairs.
He's
Like
living
he
on his
actually-
own, fell down the stairs, heart
Yeah, he
attack
was-
or something, and
No, he was walking up with a laundry hamper, which is even worse. And I don't know, which is so embarrassing.
Just choked himself on a fifth sheet.
Just swan dived, and at that point, I think he's
snapped his neck or something.
No, he fell because concrete steps, and he hit his head. And they found him the next day. My uncle found him, and then my uncle didn't talk to me for a decade because he was like,
This is your fault.
Don't have that to it as well. Fucking hell.
Jesus Christ! No,
If it was just funnier, your mum and dad had stayed together, you'd still be alive now.
if I always say if my dad was alive, I would have 3 kids and I'd be an electrician. I'd be a funny electrician because he's like he would not let me do this fatty shit.
See, I'm the opposite. If my dad hadn't fucking pushed me to go to uni and all that, and he just let me be, I'd be a millionaire electrician now.
You think so?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think we all want to be. I think most comics might have a sneaking dream of being a successful
electrician.
tradesman. Because the Sparky, there's money in the Sparky.
Yeah.
I do think an electrician is a job.
My dad's obsession was me not to be him. Was me not to be work with my hands. I work with a trade, and that's my is you'll use your head. That's I think he thought I was going to be a solicitor or an accountant or like something like that.
He was a solicitor.
Steve Shanyaski is the only one that's managed to finally find the holy grail of stand up.
Well, he just let me be.
Spark.
Yeah.
Oh, he does that now.
Oh, he lives in a lovely house. He's got the amazing chef.
Yeah.
Amazing chef.
Isn't the difference there? John Bishop went the other way. He was like making crazy money, and then went.
Make crazy money again.
John Bishop went crazy money, then carried on making crazy money.
Yeah.
He likes to tell I went skimming for a bit. Did you fuck? You were really good pharmaceutical sales were making top money.
Get with him, you might get a Hollywood role.
Then you went on the Apollo, and then you.
But I actually heard his rise, because you just see it, and this is what everybody thinks, like, you just the overnight success thing. But like he was at it for like close to 10 years, which is still very short to get to where
15
he is.
years it was.
Until he got his break.
So he was on telly, yeah.
Yeah, because I didn't realize that until I did a trial at Comedy in a Van. Died on my hoop. I don't know what happened.
What one? What room? Do you remember?
It was in
Wasn't the one with the Yorkshire Moors where you get
Manchester.
told not to mention them and you go on stage to do an impression of Fred West?
It was in Manchester. Justin Morehouse was hosting, and he could say penis, and they were dying. So then the guy, he goes on to open, and everyone's like, you got to see this guy. He's so funny. Really funny guy, Mancunian guy. His opening line is like, I've got a head like a Lego. And he says, I look like...
McCaffrey.
Yes, yeah.
Paul McCaffrey. He's not Mancunian. He's from Southampton.
Okay, never mind. So I'm sitting there, everybody's saying he's so funny. So I'm watching, I'm like, I'm giggling at his stuff. And I'm like, why is the audience not? I was like, maybe, is he average? But I'm like, I was like, this is funny shit.
Yeah.
So then I was like, in my head, I had a bit of a Rob Thompson. I'm like, oh, I'll get him. Go on.
Just get me on, boys. Just get me on.
This. And after 10 minutes, I got like a bit of a pop, and I went, there we go. Anyway, so I finish it, and then Rob was like, yeah, we can get you back for another 10-minute trial. And I was like, okay. And it took everything inside me not to be like, I was just on BGT and I opened for Peter Kay, but I was like, yeah, that's fine. And then this woman comes up to me and she goes, I've been watching all your videos. And I was like, yeah. And she goes, you're a lot bigger in person. And I was like, okay. And she was fucking hammered. She goes, on stage you look even bigger, but like, and I was like, fuck this place. It's terrible. Yeah, I was like, and then I quit comedy. No, I'm just joking. that was a month before. That was in November at some point.
So getting on to the K thing.
The K thing?
Peter Kay.
Yeah.
That how was that for you?
Why'd you ask that nervous? It was cool. He's literally the nicest person I've ever met, and everybody always has awful things to say, I heard.
Go fuck myself then, shall I?
Oh, you're terrible. You're horrible. The nicest person called me after Britain's Got Talent, was so funny.
Just out the blue.
I was on the train home.
Did you know
crying.
he was a fan?
Fan. That's light. Don't use that. But I did.
He knew you was. Like, why would he call you?
He's seen loads of my videos as well, which I was like, what? A lot of his videos were sent, my videos were sent to him, which he told me, and I was like, just blown away. But I was so depressed after the semifinal because they didn't let me say what I wanted to say. And you guys will know this most. On the day of, they cut like 8 of my lines and was saying I couldn't do this with my eyebrows because it's suggestive. I couldn't pause at certain moments. So that's, and bits would lead into other bits, and would
They
lead
said
into
about
that.
eyebrows.
Yeah, I couldn't do like a little like, oh.
I thought it was bad with Alan, but
No,
eyebrows.
It was. I can't explain to you, and
They're
it
setting
sucks.
you up right
Oh,
for
dude.
a royal
Oh,
death
yeah.
there, aren't they?
And it sucks. I watched it actually the first time with Ryan Gleason about 2 months ago, and I watched it, and it was way less bad than I thought it was because I was on stage. I was devastated, and I'm watching it, and I'm so angry because I could see that my ass is gone. But I can see when I did the Blackpool like strip club thing, and I went, all right, next we got Debbie. I heard a big pop, and just as that pop came, Simon buzzed me. Because I remember saying that and I had that feeling, I went, I have this in Scouts. I have this in Scouts Pingo. I'm going to win them back. So it went, right, next it was Debbie. Boom, big from the thing. And because of the first minute and a half, silence. And I was like, okay. And you could actually see it in me. I kind of had a bit more of that swagger. I was like, I got it here. Yeah. Fucking hit it. And then I went, just had a gastric sleeve done in my 3-beat. He hit it. And they started booing him. And I was like, I have to just keep going. I can't stop and do crowd work or start yelling at him. So I'm talking over boos. And then I get into my scouse bit. And then the audience had lost focus. And then I had to gain it back. And it was just fucked. So I was just devastated. It's still affecting me now. So it's just awful. And then after that, the next day, I was literally crying on the train home, like very sad. And I remember saying to my wife, like, why would this happen? Like, what does this help for anyone? Like, I was so disappointed. And then she had my phone because I'm like, I don't even want sympathy messages. And then she looks at me like, I'm like, what now? What now? She goes, Peter Kay wants to talk to you. And I'm like, fuck off. Is he going to call me and rip on me? What is it?
That'd be so
like,
funny.
That'd be so funny.
Peter
Who the fuck are
Kay.
you talking?
You were fucking shite, son, to that.
So he called me. I have it all recorded. It was like a 2-hour conversation.
Really?
Yeah, I think because he liked it because I was talking to him like a friend because I was so fucked that I wasn't fangirling.
Yeah.
He goes, you all right? I said, Pete, not well, buddy. I said, if I could find anything that could hold my weight, I'd be swinging in the wind right now. And he was laughing. And he goes, you weren't bad at all. He goes, Simon's a dickhead. And he basically just dove right in and kind of told me some of the industry stuff that I was like, oh, okay.
And then you can tell us.
Probably off because I just I'm learning now, especially I have a social media agent and she's like, you're too open with things, and I'm like, okay. So I can they're not crazy, but I don't want things get back so fast.
Fine.
But but telling me stuff about the people that were on the show and like stuff that he's kind of gone through that I was like, okay. And then I was telling him, he's like, yeah, I didn't realize how self-conscious and he doesn't, you'd think he'd be like you. Very, like, even when I went to watch his show, he's like, I don't know, I think it's shite. And I just do all this singing at the end to try, see if I can give the ticket price. And I was like, are you fucked? And he goes, and I was like, so that never goes away. And he goes, does it? Bollocks. Like, I'm always stressed out. So I was joking around with him. I'm like, Pete, you're going to be fine. Just relax on stage. Okay. You're going to do great. They're going to love you. So I was messing about with him. So I think he appreciated that. Because he just felt like it was, I don't think he's had chats with comics for a while. So he was like, yeah, it's nice. And he goes, the best thing he said before I went out, he goes, you're going to hate it. You're going to think you did shite. You're going to rush. You're going to talk over laughter. You're going to come off and wish that you'd done better. He nailed everything that I felt. He's like, the difference is here, if I go and do a 200-seater room, he goes, I die on my ass. Because I didn't realize, and you probably know it now, the delay. It's so extreme. And especially there, it was so extreme that I remember I thought I was dying for the first bit. Because I went on and then I did my Blackpool thing again. I went, next up we got Debbie. And I'd been doing it for 2-3 weeks before, and I was on. And I went, next up we got Debbie. Silence. And I was like, 2, 3, 4. Just had a gastric sleeve. And then I heard the laugh from the first bit. And then I was talking over it. So I was like, I didn't have that wave. And then I listened back to it because I'm like, I died on my ass. I'm done with this. So I listened back to it and I turned to Alyssa and I'm like, did they impose laughter into this? Because it was so off where the laughs were. And she goes, no, they clipped it and sent it to you 10 minutes after you left. They're not going to add a laugh track into it because I would say something where it would get the beat and I actually would count. I'm like, I waited 3 seconds there, still no laugh. Started into my next bit, a big eruption would happen. So I think the audience I got them really by the end, but especially at the start, they were kind of like, what? Are we supposed to laugh? Oh, he's talking like
when you're stamping on the laughs. It's sometimes not even how long they take to laugh. It's how long the laugh gets to you.
Yeah, well, that's what happened. And then also the way he brought me on was insane. I wouldn't change it. I wouldn't open. I really liked what he did, but the way he brought me on was crazy because he's like, he does his best bit at the end, which is a really funny bit about Lionel Richie and the woman doing like his sculpting of the eyes and she's blind, but he's like spying on her. He's like, why is he spying on her? She's blind. And it was killing. And he does his blow line for that. And he goes, right, I don't usually do this. You might see me on TV. Please welcome Kevin Finn. I was like, oh. So I go on to them and you could almost feel it was like, who the fuck is this guy? We're literally in the groove here. So I start my, hey, oh. Half of them kind of were with me. Then they kind of came with me. And then I had a moment which I had on BGT as well. Sorry, I'm talking so much.
That's literally what you're here for. Go on.
I know. On BGT, you actually, if you watch my semifinal back, I randomly say Barnsley in it because I remember it was about a minute in and I had a thought in my head. I'm like, I'm dying in front of 7 million people and 3,000 people here. And oh my God, this is actually anybody's worst nightmare. I'm like, is this a dream? All of that happened. And then after I said that, I went, I don't know the rest of my set. And
in your head.
In BGT, this happens. And you see me go, yeah, like in Barnsley. And that has it's out of context. There's no reason why I said it. And then I caught it again. And then the same thing happened at Peter Kay. I went on and I went, I did my Freddie Mercury. I said, all right, we're feeling good. Yeah, I'm looking good. I said, no, I look like a very bloated diabetic Jason Manford. And that got a big pop. And then I blanked and I just saw the lights and I can't tell you guys, I was maybe a millisecond away from going, all right, let's bring Peter back on. So me coming on and doing a minute. I look like Jason Manford. Let's get Pete back on. So I did that and then I went through like the TV show stuff and then did my Scouse Pengu and then the Blackpool stripper thing and that went really well. But again, being me, was basing my laughs off what Peter Kay was getting, which is just fucking insane to do because they're there to see him. They'd waited 3 years to see him, regardless of how funny you are, regardless of what Rob thinks. He could go on. He still has to work for it, but it's like he's adored. So I'm coming on in this moment. They're like, who the fuck is this? How long is this guy going to be on? What's he doing here? Where'd Peter go? Is he done?
He's played arenas as well, so he's not waiting for the 3 seconds. He's
exactly. Yeah, so he's doing... And I also didn't realize the 60 fucking meter screens there. So I'm giving it fucking as I do on stage, and all I needed was because they're looking up at this, right?
Yeah.
So I'm fucking, and that's
only
what
the first 3 rows that watch you. The rest just watch.
Yeah. So I'm watching me on stage, and I'm fucking doing big things, and I just needed to tone it way down, which you'd think it would be the opposite. But it was like I had messages after people were like, I saw this the first time I saw it, was so funny. One woman was like, I'm sorry about the audience. I'm like, okay, that doesn't make me feel good. And she goes, no. We were dying. We don't we think maybe that they were just confused. And then I talked to his tour manager. He said it was the first time in 23 years he's ever brought another comic on, which I was like, so it was great. And then after I was just joking with him and messing with him. He was just so lovely. And then I have his mobile number and I'll text him different things and he shoots right back. Like that's so weird to say.
Yeah.
Have you told him you stopped? You meant
I wouldn't say I'm as close to be like, hey, this is my life update. It's
no,
just
I mean, I'd be interested to see what someone who's reached the pinnacle of success and still feels like you said, still feels insecure in a certain way. I wonder what he'd say to it.
Well, because I asked him, I said, how do you feel on stage? Like, what do you like? He goes, I feel really warm. I feel like I'm at home on stage. And he said that, and I was like, I don't feel that in my head. I was especially doing stand up when I did that improv with Evan. I was like, I feel so happy here, and I could tell it went through as well. And in the year and 8 months since I've been here, and the maybe close to 200 gigs I've done, I've probably felt warm or gone off stage and went, that was really good, maybe 3 times. One was on my first audition with BGT. One was the second day I got here and I did Frog and Bucket and I got through 5 minutes. And then I think the one was, I 100% thought I won the new comedian of the year at Hot Water because it was like, even people were like, came up like, yeah, you won that, and it came third.
That's not
I'm fine. I found out there's 6 judges in a room of 300 people, and I asked Bint, he's like, oh yeah, this doesn't really mean anything. Like, it's like I judge it, and then a sound person does it, one person in the audience, a security guard. So I'm like, oh, it's not audience vote.
No.
So anyways, I'm not bitter. It's fine. That's probably three that I've had that I've, and even after I did my Frog and Bucket trial, my 15 minutes where I killed it, and I've had people like tag me on Instagram, be like, I've watched one which I was like blown away by. It was at the Frog and Bucket actually, and they said, I've been going to comedy nights for like 15 years, and when I tell you these are the 2 funniest comedians I've seen in 15 years, and it was me and Scott Bennett that he tagged, and I was like, that, but my imposter syndrome then went times 10. Because he's fucking brilliant. He's one of those people I watch and I'm like, I just want to be your friend. Like, you're so good that I'm not even jealous. You're so funny and silly, and I just really enjoyed him. And there's Brennan Reese as well, was the other person that I saw that I was like, he's just fun. Funny enough, doesn't Brennan Reese have sadness as well? I see he posted something.
It was when he wants to sell tickets, yeah.
Celtic. That's all I'm doing here, trying to sell my improv show. Yeah, my dad fell down the steps.
Anything more coming up with Peter?
I don't know. I mean, I haven't. That's also my thing. I don't push. I'm not the type of person to be like, hey, I'd love to do another, which I should. But
you were miserable after the arena gig, weren't you?
Yeah, you were, because I remember telling him.
Yeah, well, I remember speaking to you at Chester, and that's why. That's why I was tentative mentioning it, and I thought,
no, it doesn't. It wasn't like it's.
You're on the phone to me going, "Do you get come downs after the arena shows?" I'm like, no.
It was because in my head it was so annoying because BGT was a different thing. Peter Kay, I would give it like a 6.5 out of my scale, a 6.5, knowing that if I knew it a bit more, that it would have been an 8 or a 9, and that's what annoyed me. It wasn't like I did bad. It was like I know.
Yeah, if you had a couple of goes at it.
Yeah, I know, and it wasn't even like the material. It was just because I didn't know how to ride 18,000 people that way.
You were saying that he told you that when he come off, that if he does a 200-seater, he dies because he waits like 7 seconds after
that's what he was saying. He was like, it's so different now. So when I do my warm-up shows, he goes, it's so uncomfortable because you're used to boom, boom, like hit you right back. So, and everybody's warning me about this wave. And it was like, I waited so long. And you've seen me perform. It's very quick. So it wasn't like, yeah, I waited long. And I was like, yeah, okay, the next thing. It was genuinely like a 2-3 second onto the next thing before I really heard the laugh. So
I think I would like to experience dying in an arena. like you go in there, you go like, I sound like I'm dying here, and then you get a wave.
No matter what happens, you'll feel like you've done worse than you have.
Right.
Phil Chapman was actually so lovely to me because I called him, and I don't really talk to him that much, and he gave me a lot of good advice. And this was just before you started doing more. So I talked to you a little bit, but when I did it, you'd just done maybe one, I think.
Yeah.
But now, which is awesome, you're doing a lot more. But Phil gave me some really, really good advice.
Good with me as well, Phil. When I
and he was like, "You're gonna think you're dying." He goes, "Just don't worry about if somebody's booing, if somebody's doing." He goes, "Just you go through it," which is so against everything that you usually do. And that's true because he goes, "I did a gig where I thought people were booing me 10 minutes in, and what was actually because then he brought attention to it, and then the audience got weird, but somebody had thrown up, and they were like scuffling about him." And he took it personally, thought it was a him thing. So then the whole audience were kind of like, "Oh, I've lost a bit of confidence in this guy." So
because you're the 5,000 people, I haven't got a clue what's going on.
It's too big for comedy, but it's good for the money and the ego. But it is too much for comedy.
But even that, like, if I was to do live at the Apollo, which would be it's so cool. And this, I'm sure if any stand-ups watching this guy's a cunt. It's something that, and maybe this might change. I might eat my words in 6 months where I'm really into it and I do it again. But right now, like, I don't even think I would want to do that because I would just have all of the negative part of stand-up, which is like the severe nerves before, the self-doubt, all that stuff.
You wouldn't turn down the Apollo now.
I honestly don't. Right at this moment, I don't.
Really? That payday? Go and pedal out 15 minutes?
What do they pay?
10 grand.
Is it actually that?
Maybe a bit more. Depends, really.
Well, I mean,
it's going down every year.
There was a lot of gigs that I ended up.
So you need a podcast credit to do live at the Apollo.
There's a lot of gigs I actually had to I cancel, which I felt so bad about. But I probably lost quite a bit of money. But I just know it's just the biggest thing that I started doing. It's, as I said before, it's such a disservice to me and that person putting the show on. I would hate to go, even if I'm giving them 50%. I'd be able to sell it, and I think I'd still be able to make it funny. But it's just like, it's just not right.
You need to get paid. You need to get that.
Yeah, no, but
we're
not
paper,
scumbags like you that just go in and float around and just, I'll get this and get my 200.
Yeah, just come off and go, that went well, didn't it?
Everybody's not looking at you. Going, all right.
Yeah, they were lovely then. Yeah, so yeah, I see you now.
But no, I don't know. I got to figure out what it is, and I also realized like I did my first like social media ad.
Yeah.
That's a nice little.
It's great. I got more on that than I would get in 2 months of doing stand-up.
Nice.
And I was in my head. I'm like, what am I doing here? What am I focusing on? Because I love doing characters. I did that. They loved what I did. I did another character just recently, which is like this Irish character that people have been like.
Yeah, it went well, that didn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, and I've been getting so many messages. I gained like almost 10,000 followers from that character alone.
Like.
Offensive. It's kind of like a traveler, something like that. And I blocked out 3 of my teeth.
That's fine. White on white.
And so people are wanting that. And then I got, which I'm so excited for, and this is a very funny juxtaposition. My wife's looking at all these things. She goes, "Oh, look at this content creator got like all these nice clothes and got these like skincare stuff." And I got, I got in the mail a movie exec, like a movie FX thing sent me like really high quality fake teeth that look real but like are silly, but like they're expensive things. So I'm walking around with me fake teeth, like Tobin, like, "You're right here, my love," and she's like looking at this beautiful like piece. But I'm so excited about these teeth because I have so many ideas for characters that I'm going to do online. But if you get characters that take off, the good thing is like that Irish one, I think they're trying to push me for different things in Ireland, or if I do, it's just easier to sell products instead of my like, "Oh, I'm from Canada, this is the difference."
What you can attach things to.
Yeah, because if I have a character, if I do a farmer character and it's like, okay, we're selling cow food, and they come to me and go, "Here's £8,000 for you to do that character, but sell cow food." Fucking yeah, I'm gonna do that.
Lovely.
So yeah, I think I'm just for the next month before we start the improv thing, I'm hyper fixating on my socials because what I was doing is I was giving 20% to stand up, 20% to my day job, 40% to social media, 10% to my wife. Like I was not giving everything to.
Yeah,
it was too much.
He who chases two chickens ends up with none.
Thank you.
It's all right, mate. Don't worry about it.
Have that.
What is the thing? Master at
Jack of all
trades, master at none.
Yeah, that's what I feel like.
But then the actual full saying is that it's best to be a jack of all trades than a master at none.
Am I boring you, Rob?
No, I'm just trying to think. Cause
He leant forward at 106. Now I was thinking
We're
he's looking to press that button there.
No, I was feeling fat. So
Right, okay. That's why I was also tentative with the Peter Kay, because I thought, hang on, he wants to shut this down.
No, I
want to get into Peter Kay here.
No, it was just feeling
fat.
Like
this, like, and I was like, we haven't got into Peter Kay yet.
You're boring me now. I'm trying to think of a poignant way to end it. Because you've sort of answered what one of the... I was going to ask you a couple of questions to end it.
You've not really given up, have you?
Not at all, no. And it's funny to joke about it.
Yeah, it is, yeah. And it's also nice and relieving to feel like you've given up as well. Sense of relief.
Honestly,
you go, I don't do this now.
I feel so excited, which is so weird because it's only been 3 weeks since I've officially retired. But I feel so free. Like, I can't wait to go and do Creatures and do improv and, like, not have any feeling of, like, okay, I got to go do stand-up. I'm sure some of these comics have seen me, so I got to make sure I'm really good because they're going to be expecting this, which is all dumb.
Yeah, such mad pressure.
Oh, no, I know, but right now I have just such a feeling of like, I can't be asked. And it's in the best way. And that's when I know it'll be the most fun and silly because it's like, I'm just going to have fun. And if I die on my ass, it's not like, oh, fuck, they're going to think I'm like, yeah, I don't really do stand-up. And that is freeing. And if it goes further, then amazing. And if it stays wherever, if I do improv and I go, yeah, this is not for me, I actually want to do stand-up again. Whenever I do get back into it, I want to have more just play and just more like not like, okay, this is Wembley. That's what it felt like every time I was going on.
I felt like that when I spoke to you. Like,
yeah.
There's just so much pressure.
What I have to say to you, though.
Oh, God.
Have you ever thought about getting a CPAP machine?
It's you mean like a sleep apnea thing?
Yeah.
No.
Have you got one?
Oh, yeah.
Of course, yeah.
Game-changing.
Life-changing.
Of course he's got one.
Why does he act like you're his size?
What is the weight difference here?
Okay, I need to tell you about this before I go.
Because you two are meant to be starting a podcast,
it's probably BMI versus like I'm muscle, aren't I? You know what I mean? I'm fucking
where?
Built like a brick shit, you know what I mean?
I need to tell you, I'm
played
such
sport all my life. That comes dance this whole
I was a great footballer when I was 10.
In Canada.
Sleep apnea, please.
Why do you? Stop trying to convince me of what sleep apnea.
Because I'm afraid that you're going to expire in your sleep. Because I nearly did.
Do you think that what the bad could be? Lack of poor quality sleep.
I learned. Okay,
that's why I'm miserable. Cunt.
Jokes aside, I went in Canada because Canada's good with the healthcare service. My family doctor's like, yeah, we're just gonna sit because you're moving over to the UK, so we're gonna send you for a sleep test just before you go. And I was like, really? Okay, like not. I'm like, okay. He's like, yeah, just. And I was like, is it just a weight thing? He goes, that is a factor, but there's a lot of people when they're even thin can have sleep apnea.
Boners in that.
Yeah, and so I go in and they hook me all up, hook my brain up, put all this stuff in. Go to sleep. Do a 5-hour sleep test where they're just monitoring your whole sleep.
Yeah.
Go home. I was like, yeah, it was whatever. Didn't even think about it. And then I get a call 2 weeks later, and they're like, yeah, you have to come in. And I was like, okay. So I go in, and it was this German. He was like a German man. He's like 70. He goes, so I'm looking here. You stop breathing 77 times an hour. And I went, what?
Wow.
He goes, 77 times an hour. 77 times in an hour.
Oh, an hour, right.
That's more than once a minute.
Good maths.
That is, yeah, that is.
Quick maths.
So I was like, what? And he's like, yeah. He goes, how are you, like, up? And I was like, I don't know. He's like, I'm going to change your life. And I was like, okay. He wasn't gay, but it sounds gay. So I get this machine, and they pay for, like, half, and you pay the other half. So it was like £500 that I paid for it. And I was like, oh. I did so much research on what sleep apnea does, and that is how most people die in their sleep. It's not drugs or anything like that. It's your heart is overworking times 10 because you're not getting oxygen to it, and that's what wakes your brain up, and then it's resetting over and over and over again. So I was like, okay, and sleep apnea shaves 20 years off your life, which I'm sure you're probably excited. You're ready to look it up. Fuck, 20 years. If you have severe sleep apnea, it shaves 20 years off your life.
I don't want them 20 years.
That's what I was going to say. You'd be fucking pleased. 45, you're done. Looked all that up. Your brain activity, Alzheimer's is so, which again, you'd probably love, is rampant if you have sleep apnea. So the first night I slept with it, you'd think, oh, it'd be awful. And I move around. I do fucking circles and everything when I'm sleeping. I woke up. I've never done cocaine. Never done cocaine. Felt like I was on, like I was, the next day I was like this. And I only had one episode an hour, so I only stopped breathing once an hour with it on, and I felt like I was like jacked up. I'm like, is this what sleep is like? Like it was crazy, like, and it was
glasses on for the first time.
Yeah, it was unreal. And then all the research I did on it look it up because you definitely have it.
Why do you convinced I've got it? Just because I'm a fat cunt.
I have never seen your neck before. And it's not because of the hair. Like, it's just chin to chest. That's all I see.
Absolute bullshit.
Right. So you think, what age did you start using the machine?
About 2 years ago.
6.
It's the best thing I've ever. And if I've slept with it without it maybe 3 times. With 3 times, and I wake up with the worst headaches.
If you don't have it.
Oh, terrible. The only worst part is like if I'm arguing with my wife, it's terrible to be like, okay, well, anyways.
Yeah, that is sad,
Like
isn't
that's-
it?
and
That's
then
fucking
all-
tragic.
all
That. She just pings it off.
All she has to turn to me, she goes, you need a machine to help you fucking sleep. And I'm done. I'm done. So that's, if I'm like, honestly, you need to fucking grow up. Like, you need to actually sort yourself out. It's so bad.
Go and plug yourself in, you fuck cunt.
Yeah, she just has me by the
so
nuts.
funny,
And if
man.
she hates me at night, she can just slide it off, and I'm
Well, I thought there was a comedian on here who's had a friend whose missus died because of the machine slipping off.
what?
Yeah,
No, didn't you get pissed when it gets put on or something like that?
something like that. Yeah, it's sad, man.
Now that I've have it, like that's what sometimes when I go to bed, when I have a feast at night, it's like a treat when I put it on because it's like, oh,
It's not meant to be eating more.
you were built for
I
Mars,
almost
mate.
want to walk around with it on. Just
Is it good? Is it?
oh, it's like it feels like you're just injecting hair because it's like. you don't have
Imagine
to
what it could
breathe.
feel like.
Oh, dude, your life
Can
would
you
change.
bring them in? Can you just swap? Can you give him it
You
like,
just
for a
swap.
night? Let him have a go.
Lends it for a night.
I lost a stone when I first started it.
Yeah,
I
and you
kept it off.
fucking-
I've kept it off.
No, you
Why-
haven't.
I actually have because when you're so sleep deprived, apparently, like you're that's only why I ate is because your carbs and all that. You're way more snacky, right? So get one. Maybe you might save your life. I'm trying to help you.
You're not. You just want me to be a fat cunt like you. And you're like, if he's got more fat cunt ailments,
Do you know
then
wanted
I'll
to
feel
do?
better about myself.
I wanted when we were talking about start with the word that the heart's gonna go.
Yeah, it needs to stop for a bit.
I was gonna do a 3-day fast because apparently it like clears out everything.
Yeah.
But the funniest thing, this fucker calls me last
Oh
year.
yeah, he tried.
I'm not eating for a week, and then I eat whatever I want for a day, and I'm like, okay. Did you last a day?
2 days, I think.
I did 3.5 days, didn't I? And then
How was that?
You were eating at night. You had the tea, didn't you?
no, I did 3.5 days without anything,
Right.
and then I just ate like a king for 3.5 days. I just convinced myself I couldn't. I mean, like imagine 3.5 days and then be like, well, you can have 3,000 calories.
I
Then-
know, yeah.
But then I wasn't having 3,000 calories. I was having like fucking 8,000
So
calories.
do you think just not a little bit? You think maybe I would try the machine just to see?
Jokes aside, Rob, like I'm genuinely.
But
I
I-
try to do this to Tony. I try to tell it to Tony as well. And he's
Oh
like,
well, yeah.
which is probably not.
Stop
the
going
right
around telling factions?
It,
Yeah, but
it's
he's
coming from
obviously-
me. Okay,
Yeah, but that's the
if
problem.
I was this guy coming up and being like, "You gotta get a machine for yourself," then you look like a cunt. But if it's like, "Buddy, I sleep so good because I got a machine to help me," and like,
Yeah, but also it's a
Yeah.
little bit admitting defeat.
But that's exactly what it is.
no, because
It's
I asked.
accepting.
No.
It's accepting you need help because you're fat and you've gone too far.
You can't
and rather
fight your-
just fight it. It's like when I got kicked, when I got moved seats on the Ryanair flight because I was in the extra leg room bit and the seatbelt didn't fit. And every the comments are going, "You could buy the extra seatbelt from Amazon." Like, no, don't do that.
Yeah.
Don't accept
difference
it. Just lose the weight, you fat cunt.
When
Don't
you're-
be like,
When
oh,
you're not conscious, you can't fight your
tap
fat
out, you-
throat choking you out.
exactly.
So you're going.
But real
Exactly. So you've
fighters,
done it to yourself.
real fighters go asleep in the cage, Kev.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
don't tap. They don't tap.
Yeah.
You're gonna snap my leg before I tap in this game.
You've
asked-
ate yourself dead.
I asked. I said, "Is it just because I'm morbidly obese?" And the German, I literally straight up said that, and the German's like, "No, the worst case I ever saw, the guy was maybe 140 pounds, and he's
40 pounds.
140 pounds. That would be maybe like
light.
8 stone, like really light. Yeah. He stopped breathing 155 times an hour. That's like That's like 6 times.
When they start saying that, though, just go, come on, mate, you're talking shite.
No,
How do you know what? There's no
Because
way
I
in the
have
world
that.
I'm stopping breathing 155 times. You're talking
They
shite.
show brainwave. It's a fucking thing. I had shit stuck to my thing, shit stuck to my feet, my
Yeah,
heart.
right.
wrapped around.
Oh, you've stopped breathing 160 times. No, I haven't. How have I? Because I'm still breathing now. You fucking silly German
You're not
cunt.
just taking deeper breaths.
I can't wait to speak at your eulogy and bring my machine and go, this
You
would
won't
have
speak
saved
at my
him.
eulogy because you'll be standing by the buffet waiting to get in first.
Or no, I hate
Oh, he's
comedy,
got
so I'm not
shumais and
doing it.
ribs.
No, it's what it does. It's as you breathe in, it like opens and then it pushes air in. Because what it is, it's your soft palate that like. It's not. I know.
See, there's not.
It's your soft palate.
There's nothing soft on me, kid. All right.
So
I've got a hard palate.
is it the weight on your pipe pushing it?
Well, that's what I thought initially. So that makes it obviously worse with the weight. But even if like that's why sometimes you hear like dads snoring when they're not heavy, but they snore loud. It's the literally like the skin at the back of your throat goes over your windpipe. So that's why it like. So when people go, oh, snoring, that means he's sound asleep. No, that means he's struggling to breathe. Like, like he's trying to get air in. I'm like, oh, it's lovely. Yeah, he's dead. He's fine. Yeah, he's really asleep. No pulse. But no, I think.
Right. Yeah.
Do you? This is what's confusing. Like, do you?
You snore.
Of course.
Oh, yeah, I have a little snore.
I mean, I think
A
I
little
snore.
snore. A cute little.
I think
snore.
I snore. I think I'm not. I'm not far off a mask. I think I'm not. I know.
You
'Cause
should
you said
actually get
the thin guy.
Oh my god!
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So
kids have it now. They never really, the kids.
Kids having that fuck like autism. This.
You're
the jabs.
worst.
It's
You're
the jabs.
You're the worst. It's chemtrails in the sky. That's what it is. What I was gonna say is, I don't understand. Like, pick a bad thing because you drink a lot as well, right?
Not as much as him.
Yeah, but he can. He's okay.
I'm a good drinker.
Yeah, but you can't eat like a cunt and drink like a cunt and like come on. Like I picked my poison. I'm like, if I'm going in on one because
I've got one as well.
Is it drinking?
Drink, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not. Food's bad as well, but I'm not too bad.
Yeah, but you're not eating to the point that you're
Because
spitting up in it.
I'm passed out for 16 hours, you see, so therefore the
That
eating's
might
not so
help
bad.
us if we just do that then, the drink diet.
Well, I do drink quite a bit. Like, I don't know. My food's not bad.
I think it'd be
Mine's
interesting
the
for you to
actual. It's the lack of steps on top of the food.
try the machine. Try them. I'll
I tried
try
to
it.
start this with you. I tried check it in with you, and you just couldn't be asked to check back in. So I said, "Oh, fuck him." He's like, "Let's, Kev, come on, let's, because we need to." Because
Yeah, but the way you checked in, it was like, oh, fuck off.
positive, trying to help you out.
So this is what we're going to do, Rob. Right. We're not going to go. No, because our problem is we always go too hard. We go too full time, and then we can't do it. So what we're going to do?
trying to be-
what we're going to do?
I can't wait for this. Yeah.
We're just going to do. we're just going to do 5,000 steps. Okay, just 5,000. That's easy to stay on top of 5,000, and we're not cutting down too much. We're just going to do 2,800 calories, 5,000, 2,800 calories. So what we're going to do then is just carry on being fat cunts.
This fucker, when I said that, he goes, "Yeah, I do either go all or nothing," and he fucking confided in me, and now he's trying to make like I'm getting my nails done as I'm saying it.
Just 2,800. Sitting there looking going.
He told me you were going to
You're
try
not
a
fucking
pod.
dieting at all, then, are you?
How have you fucking? Because I'm blaming you for this. I should have been thin, and I tried to have a mate to put me in check, and you fucked off. You ghosted me.
Anyway,
didn't
Burger King shuts it off an hour, so we better.
Oh, I need my sleep machine tonight.
You know what I'm literally going to do? I'm literally off now to buy kettlebells. That's where I'm going.
Oh,
now.
yeah?
Yeah.
I thought you get a steak.
Yeah, on the way back from kettlebells.
Right, where you getting the
Kettlebells for
kettlebells?
what?
Argos.
Because I'm going to start working out in the house with the
Okay.
kettlebells.
Oh, really?
Where you getting them? Where you getting the car? Where
Muscles
they getting the car? Where they getting them from?
One of the people who follows me. So what I did, because I knew there'd be other fat cunts out there who bought
Right.
kettlebells and are now left to dust in their
Yeah.
house.
Door
So I
stops.
said, anyone got any kettlebells they want to sell? Any other fat cunts giving up and want to sell me their kettlebells?
Right.
So someone messaged me from
I
Alan.
give you.
I love the idea of just like a set of kettlebells getting passed around brutal to fatties.
Just fat cunts
Yeah,
selling
just a
them out.
WhatsApp group of who's got the
I'll be
kettlebells now.
messaging you in a month.
These kettlebells are worth a fucking fortune. The transfer fees when you build them all up.
So you're going to go and pick some kettlebells off of
From
somebody else?
Allerton, yeah. Some other
Of
fat
Finnegan? Or just
From Allerton.
Oh, Allerton, right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Rob, please get a sleep test.
I don't need. I'm fucking sleep.
You do.
You don't work out. You're not going to work out.
I actually every time.
I know.
Actually, every time.
Actually, I'm actually a hard worker outer. Every time I go too hard though. I leave
Yeah.
and I always feel like I'm gonna vomit. I can't just go and just like.
So you go to the gym and the Toby Carvey with the same attitude. I'm coming out of here being sick.
This guy is on the treadmill running for 20 minutes. That's not okay. Like, I get off and my heart rate's 180.
Yeah, no wonder you need sleep apnea.
Yeah.
Can't fucking breathe.
It's like, I get off the treadmill and my wife's like, I don't want to be seen near you.
Yeah.
I'm just like, we're going down now. Let's wrap it up. Like,
Go!
yeah. Fuck. So it's bad. It's just aggressive.
Yeah, I'm like that in the gym. I'm it's
What's the
awful.
point? You're not, what are you going to, a kettlebell?
Yeah,
This is
yeah,
great.
go hard, but
Oh, as opposed to your 5,000 steps of 3,000 calories. Fuck off. You might as well text me. Said, Rob, what we're going to do is we're going to do 10 laps of the drive-through before we go to Mackey's from now on. All right? We're going to park the car. 10 laps of the
are
drive-through.
you on the treadmill? Like they can hear you from the other side of the like,
yeah.
what the fuck is that? It's like,
Hear him.
and it's
The treadmill's moving. The treadmill's going.
Are you a silent fat breather?
A silent fat breather.
I'm a shy fat breather. If I'm walking up steps and somebody's skinny talking to me and they're there, I'm doing that. Yeah.
That's why I'm ice buggy.
Because you don't want them to, that embarrassing. Are you okay? Like, you don't want to hear that.
yeah.
Are you
Yeah,
okay?
a few steps.
Yeah. And you at the side. Yeah, what's that over there? Yeah.
See, you can do it. It's good, that.
Fucking hell. These are, see, now that I've given up, I got some
Yeah.
bits here.
Yeah, no, yeah.
I'd
That
rather
is
you be honest
embarrassing,
on
that,
stage,
yeah.
right?
2 flights of steps and you're fucking gassed.
2 flights,
Yeah,
fucking one. I'm fucking, want to take a break here? Break on the landing. Oh, okay.
There's not a worse as a fatty when you see her landing halfway through. You're like,
Oh, yeah.
oh, no.
And I'm pretending that I just got a text. Oh, sorry, 1 sec.
That's a lovely view, that. That is a lovely view.
That fucking ticket you gave me for Liverpool, what was that? I have so many steps.
That's why I know I'm fine. When I've got to stop going the
There's
game.
a lot of landings there. There's a lot of landings. I was there with my pal.
When I've got to stop going the game. That's
The bead of sweat never lies.
Yeah, there's no telling everyone. I was the fat kid when I started gaining a lot of weight when I was a kid. I was the cunt when I'd play football. Ref, time. Always want another time. And I would tell other players, I go, let's relax, guys. Let's cool it down. Because I'd see it, all the managers do it. Let's relax.
You know when you get a fat, when you clear it, a good 50 yards off the pitch, so you can have a breather. I'm going in for this 50-50. I'm going hard to the ball goes fucking flying.
Slow it down, lads. Come on, slow it down.
There was no one near for that clearance drop. There was. He was screaming, break me down, close me down. I had to get rid.
It is so funny being fat.
Okay.
Like out of shit. No,
Go fuck yourself.
I know. So yeah, I don't get this privilege.
Sign up to the Patreon.
I don't get this privilege.
Kev, what's your profile again? Kev Finn what?
Kevo Finn. That's
Just
it.
Kev. Is your name? You just added the O.
Kevo. My name is Kevin Finn, and you still call me Kev Finn, like somebody who's very dyslexic.
What?
It's Kevin Finn.
Yes.
You
What's
call
the
me
O
Kev
for?
Finn. Because there wasn't Kevin Finn, there wasn't Kev Finn, so I did Kevo Finn. Smart. Well, that's a great way to end the podcast.
Ran out of energy when you were typing it.
Yeah.
I'm not high no, I'll just do it now.
You got sleep apnea.
The O stand is the O is breathing. K-E-V.
We'll just go for the O instead of the IN.
Nice one. Set our Patreon.